Feliz Navidad. Feliz is where we would like you to check out leasing your next vehicle. Feliz is different. It is not your typical dealership. They are owned by the Credit Union of Texas, Dan, which means they put your best interests first. That's some legal mumbo jumbo that may mean something to you. What I know is I trust
Sounds
Danny
awesome.
at Fairlease. I've heard from a ton of listeners who have worked with them. So go check it out at fairlease.org. They'll make it easy for you to lease that vehicle. Get your top dollar value for your trade-in. It'll be easy. You're not spending a whole day out there at a dealership. So just check them out at fairlease.org. And when you click Get a Quote, tell them the Dumb Zone sent you at fairlease.org.
All right. Are you mocking the open? Because you mock it.
Just excited.
It's Thursday. Now, today's our Thursday, right?
Yeah, back on sked.
And I don't need to say this, but of course, I'm Dan McDowell.
I am Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones.
We got Clayton here as well. And Kip and Bodie, of course. I don't know. I turned it down.
A little warm.
I just turned it down a couple minutes ago. You're going to get up?
Bad acting. Pre-planned bit.
Oh. Hell yeah.
I was a little warm.
Dang, that is authentic.
The medium, not bad either, right? I feel like for a large, if you're a large, get the medium in the jersey, and it can be worn as casual wear.
That's right.
God, it felt good putting this on this morning. Like,
it's an aggressive color.
That's exactly what my wife said.
Walk around and just be like, oh.
I know.
Oh, that's a Luka shirt. That's
dude,
when
I put
wear
it
this
on, like, I felt the history, I felt it. This
Raise
is us
that number to the rafters. I was watching, you know what? I'm not done yet. I'm watching that Kobe documentary. It just makes me a little bit mad, but it's fun to watch. It's probably going to get more fun as time goes on, but now you have video of Kobe when he's 6 years old playing against 8-year-olds. But it's not great because it is like the 80s or something. Mm-hmm. But, you're going to have more of LeBron, and then the next LeBron or whoever, you're going to have like everything, every Little League game they ever played. And
Luka's damn near that. I go watch.
Luka highlights are great.
But, yeah, I watch video of 12-year-old Luka Doncic with some regularity. It's fun.
That's your kiddie porn, right? We found...
I feel like we have to update that story for our guests. Before
30 gigabytes of...
I got a brain tumor.
Of 11-year-olds. What? Oh, my God. Really? Yeah. They're all playing basketball. Getting schooled by Luka.
It's a legitimate show of kids.
No, not at all. I'm not attracted to them.
I'm going to be over here.
I'm totally... So... We broadcast today live to tape from high atop my garage. We have a very full program.
Wow.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the run sheet here.
Yeah.
Can't fit anything else on it. Blake's like, hey, I got some gold today. We're going to do the handout. Can't do it.
Speaking of gold, though, I do want to shout out, I feel like we never promote our social media channels.
Okay.
On the list of things we're very bad about, but that Tesla video, sick.
Oh, do you like the Cybertruck?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was very creative because it has a Cybertruck tour, but also it has a little pre-shot where it's a guy watching us on the plane. It's dope.
Interesting.
It's good work.
Thank you.
Now, I don't know the handle.
DumbZone69.
On?
Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram.
How do we not get DumbZone?
Somebody had it. I don't know.
Come on, DumbZone person that has that. Why don't you
It's a good video,
offer
Blake.
that up?
Thank you. Another Easter egg in there. As soon as the plug says Luka, I drop the audio because we're not allowed to mention Luka's name anymore.
What an artist. We need a fucking episode of Dissect.
I'm ready.
Just to break down Blake's production
Then the next song, Take Me Back to L.A. I don't know.
Yeah. He's an artiste, folks.
There you go.
On today's program, we will talk Cybertruck because I think Trump had the same reaction I did, right?
Yeah,
I'm sitting in a computer.
He pretty much did.
It was great. It was like Tron. But here, high atop my garage, we have a a variety of sit-ins. Of course, we have Houston and his very funny friend Cooper.
The funniest.
The funniest friend.
I met Houston the other day because, if you recall, he gave me this, which is a bear costume. Speaking of social media, Jasmine wants me to do some stuff for Bear Fight Whiskey on social media. And you know how fired up I get to do bits on social media.
You're such an influencer.
So I'm going to wear this. And I don't know what else. Maybe just a still shot of me wearing this. I don't know. That was where I'm going to hand it to Blake to say, give me a creative idea.
The point is you have the costume.
I have the costume.
Thanks
to Houston. And
Cooper
Houston
said he coaches high school girls' sports.
Yeah.
Which I've heard are under attack.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all worried about all the...
You having a double-team dudes at mid-court?
Yeah. Also, in the den here today, we have our old friend Cameron, who we remember from the Meat Church Barbecue remote.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, we'll get into the and in a moment, but he is along with Andrew Duhon.
Yay.
Andrew Duhon.
Here I am.
Who is an accomplished musician. Singer-songwriter. No?
I don't know. What's accomplished?
I mean, like you're online and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm accomplished.
Is it
How much-
AndrewDuhon.com?
Yeah, I got that.
Here's the metric by which it's accomplished. How much time do you have to spend doing other jobs that aren't music?
Okay, I like that.
Is that a lot of time or a little time?
I spend 80% of my time promoting music, writing music, recording music, fixing errors on the printed merchandise. But yeah,
that's accomplished.
Suffice to say, it luckily don't have to work at Target at the moment. But I think the applications are fairly easy to come by at Target. So if anything happens, I know where to go.
Well, something may happen today.
So you know,
that's right.
You know business.
Yeah,
That's true. He was able to
Yeah.
get Andrew Duhon, yes, on Instagram.
You're a business guy. You know what quarterly taxes are.
Yeah, you know what, but I don't do them. I do a yearly tax thing. It would be very smart to do the quarterly thing. I should do the quarterly thing. I don't do the quarterly
I don't
thing.
either.
No.
It costs money.
Well, I
Right.
only do whatever Colton tells us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it requires having the money to pay them quarterly. I'd
Yeah.
rather just scramble at the end of the year and be like, how can I don't have the money to pay quarterly taxes.
No.
Maybe by the end of the year there will be no more taxes.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Isn't
hearing.
that in the cards?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
So yeah,
Well,
let's
that's
just
changing.
let's all wait.
Yep.
I think accomplished means you have a tour though.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're not just some spare sitting there in your garage.
Mm-hmm. I got a tour.
You have a tour,
I'll
and
tell
it's
you all
not
about
just other garages.
That's true.
It says
That's
here.
on
You want to throw that mic,
we gotta have
Can
a
we-
mic over there if there's one over there.
or at least can we keep it on, just laying on the thing? I don't know.
It's on.
Netflix, we've had a couple buddies. Do you know, I don't know how many people in the DFW music scene you actually interact with.
Hit me.
We're good friends with Quaker City,
Okay.
City Nighthawks.
Not sure.
They have a very motorcycle-like feel,
Okay.
like Southern rock. So that era of FX, like Sons of Anarchy, I feel like there was another one, but that was big for them.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, anything where you can feel like the show itself kind of has an aesthetic that maybe you imagine when your music plays, amazing.
Yeah.
The latest song on a series that I just found out about was they put a song on a show on Netflix called Rescue High Surf, which is like a new version of Baywatch.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Are you?
Because we're doing a bit of, we were recording all the news teases for the sweeps month.
Yeah.
And so I was assigned Fox. And
Okay.
It's on Fox 4, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Well,
so, yeah,
lot
very
of
familiar
drama.
with that show.
I want to say,
Because I've scrolled through it to find where did they tease the news.
yeah, I want to say, I want to say that I am always thankful when somebody wants to use my art to envision their art. Great. That said, it sounds like the band you're talking about being on Sons of Anarchy, probably closer.
But
to
you're
the
on
vision.
Rescue High Surf, huh?
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're not just like riding a jet ski trying to get
How does that
inspiration?
happen? Just a fan of yours is
No, you get a
showrunner?
the manager finds you that little film and sync television company who is constantly pitching songs, and they've got a giant catalog of this and that.
Anything you said, yeah. I don't know what you mean.
It's somebody who's pitching to these.
He's got a middleman, a finder.
Right. There's like two middlemen, right? So you got the manager and then the film and television sync people who are constantly pitching to these shows who always need music. So they're kind of familiar with their catalog, right? The show comes in and says, we got a scene like this. We need something with that deals with, these kind of words or this kind of melody. And they send them 5 options from their catalog, that sort of thing.
And when they call you, is there any negotiation? Or are you like,
Nah.
hell yeah, that'd be great?
No, by the time it gets
You're
to
gonna
me,
pay me what?
By the time it gets to me, this is the show, this is the song they want to use, this is how long it happens.
So you could say no, though. I'm against
sure.
this morally. This,
Yeah. You could, I would think, you say no enough, then the company probably doesn't want to pitch your songs as much because they want that quick deal.
Yeah.
And frankly, I do too. I think there are very few ways in which a song could be used on something like that where I wouldn't say, sure, why not?
Do you get paid for each showing of it?
One-time deal. They give you one
ballpark.
It could be the best show in history, and you would get the same amount. But frankly, that would just be a little extra promo, so that's fine. There would be upside to
The
that.
big E.
I just don't
Exposure.
know. Right. Exactly. And my landlord still won't accept exposure, but it's
Correct.
fine.
It does make some people, Shazam it. And,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I've
Right.
found
Exactly.
different music that way.
Precisely. In fact, I thought, okay, there's enough time where the song is playing, but the interesting thing is it doesn't sound as clear because the way they have the song is there's 2 people dealing with each other in their like nice little cabana kitchen area. You get it, high surf.
Mm-hmm.
So the song is playing in the kitchen. It's not playing in the background of a show where it's nice and clear. It's playing in the kitchen. So it's kind of in the background, But I wondered could you Shazam this? I think there's enough time where you could Shazam the song, but I can't Shazam it yet because the record's not out. So Shazam doesn't even know the song yet. So that's where I'm at.
What do you say? 10 grand. 10 grand, over or under?
Under.
For a one-time thing, man, I thought it would be more from
Well, it's Rescue High Surf.
big network. It's a big
Right.
network, though.
Okay.
They're
Well,
still in their first season. He
Yeah.
could hitch his wagon to this thing and go to the top.
Right.
Someone's making 10 grand. Andrew's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
That's
right.
the middleman's
Yep.
money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They send me the net, not the gross.
But they didn't want you to sort of appear like Ryan Bingham does in
That's
like
nice.
Yellowstone.
I like
You
that.
Just fit the vibe.
Unfortunately, I am not Bingham at the moment, but I could get to Bingham World maybe when the record comes out. Maybe I become Bingham, but at the moment, Bingham, I am not.
That was just a weird thing for him. I've always been a fan. It's like I never really thought this guy's an actor.
Right. I
So
thought he did
they
a pretty
just
good
happen-
job, though. I know what
they
you're talking
do.
about.
What do you
Yeah.
have, Houston?
For all the Hollywood elites that are watching, I think we found a Jerry Garcia biopic right here.
That's right.
I mean,
I'm your guy.
Dead
Kind of looks like
Image,
Jerry Garcia
A little
too.
bit of the mindset too.
Yeah.
I could feel it. I once again,
Too skinny. Yeah.
I could work on that. Yeah. Well,
We're glad you're here.
thanks, buddy.
Yeah. So you came here. Well, let's promote that we do have Cowboys today with Jon Machota to break down all the big free agent movings and trades and whatnot. I don't know. Elon Trump audio. I'm looking at a big Thursday mailbag, which will include some gummy thoughts later. But you came here for the to have your song listened to and evaluated by 2 college-age girls. Which is very brave of you. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, you brought Cameron,
Yes.
who directed the video,
Correct.
and they may have thoughts on the director. So I just want to. I just know you are more front and center, Andrew. I would imagine you are used to criticism.
Sure.
In fact, public criticism.
Yeah.
Sometimes the director isn't used to it,
Right.
and I just want to make sure you're okay, Cameron.
I'm great. Actually,
We're gonna be
I've
good?
been married for 15 years. There's nothing they could
okay,
say.
okay, yeah.
And also, I didn't really tell Andrew what we were doing either. I just told him we were here for something that had to do with 2 college chicks. So he's about to be super
hell yeah.
surprised.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Did you really not tell Andrew?
Very little. I told him very little.
Oh, well, then I don't feel good about this
No.
at all.
They're
But
your kids.
The synopsis was enough to understand, and as I explained to Cameron in the car, I think we have both run an end around with our own self-doubt that we're so far beyond self-criticism of, if somebody else wants to bring it in, it's just tired.
well, who knows? Maybe my
this
daughters
could-
loved it.
I could be surprised, yeah.
Maybe my
surprised.
daughters actually
Unlikely.
loved it. But this segment that we will call the Roast Twins will be brought to us by Ownwell.
Ownwell.
Got a
Andrew,
little
what
new
do you know-
copy in there for Ownwell.
What do you know about property taxes, Andrew?
Not much. I've been renting my whole life and probably will continue to have to rent because I'm a musician.
Well, in the event that you don't,
Yeah.
that high surf money becomes annual,
That's what we're talking about.
property taxes can be a huge pain in the butt. So our friends at Ownwell can help you with that at ownwell.com/thedumbzone. It's mid-March, which means most places in Texas will have their assessments. There'll be a real push here for you guys to sign up and take care of your property taxes. Blake did it. Sign up in just 3 minutes. Correct, Blake?
Yeah, I don't really know what time of year it is or whatever when stuff is due because I'm in their auto renewal because they saved me money a couple years ago. So from here on out, I don't have to worry because Ownwell is already on the case.
So you did it 3 minutes years ago,
Yeah.
and then here
It's
you
like
are.
a minute per year.
Yeah.
What an
Wow.
incredible average.
And then the more time that passes, it's even less time. per
Added
year.
value. And you only pay if you save. So if you're one of the 14% of people that they can't save money, you won't pay anything. No harm, no foul. You owe it to yourself to check out Ownwell. Ownwell.com/thedumbzone brings you the crumbling of Andrew and Cameron's.
No. They might be great. So Cameron, of course, is the director, and you may know him from directing the commercial that Jake was in. Do we have the commercial we can show? The commercial that Jake was in. Jake starred in it.
This is not the commercial.
There's quarterbacks, then there's Patrick Mahomes. There's coffee, then there's coffee,
baby.
Introducing Sport Coffee.
Hey, Bobby.
Plus natural caffeine, natural flavors and sweeteners, vitamins, electrolytes, and more to help you get going and keep going.
Are you done for the day? No, man. Just getting started.
No matter your game, whether it's game time or overtime.
Coffee.
Just puff.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know.
That's prehab Jake right there, dude.
Prehab Jake.
That is prehab.
Helps you get going and keep going.
A guy that looks as good as you,
Then there's
you
Patrick
have to have a
Mahomes.
before picture. That's the point.
What a great commercial that was.
I agree.
That was.
Yeah.
I agree.
Top
Like,
notch.
I can't believe it was the editing on it.
You should see this guy at work, too.
Yeah?
Little tyrant.
Yeah. Pretty bossy
He's
from what I've
running
seen.
around.
Looks like he brought some of that
I agree.
coffee for us here. Is
Hell
that true?
yeah.
I didn't know if that was against the rules, but yeah, honestly, I just have a ton of it.
Rules?
I don't know,
We set the rules, my
Dude,
bro.
I come from the world of marketing, so there's a world where you guys have another sports drink or something. And they
Well,
slap
we
it
do
over.
have
So I hid it back here behind the trash
our
can.
sports drink of choice. Andrew already has one.
Right.
It is Lone Star Light.
Beer league.
That's our sports drink. Oh, okay. We're drinking them back there, too.
Yeah, that's sports. That's
You guys,
the
it's not
sports
even
beer.
noon yet. It's
sports
Thursday.
beer. Thursday's
sports-
basically Friday.
We're
Sports
artists
beer.
over here. I can't speak to these guys, but we're artists, man. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah,
Okay.
Precisely.
Also, yes, the other thing that you filmed there was the time Patrick Mahomes threw Jake a pass. So let's take a look at that real quick, and then we'll move on to the Roast Twins.
Speed. All right. Hey, sorry, you guys. I gotta have to change
Such
lanes real
bad
quick.
acting.
It's
I'm a director, not an actor.
fantastic.
Man, I'm just feeling a little tense.
How did I fall for
Why don't
this?
you run
Literally.
a route for me? I'm throwing it to you. Sit. All right, let's go. Tut.
Is Mahomes wearing tights?
Of course he is.
No one's making fun of him.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah.
Touchdown.
An 8-yard pass, and Jake has to stretch out for it. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
There's a.
So now we know the directing prowess of Cameron.
Yeah, because he sprung that on me. That was all fake.
So actually, the truth is, behind the scenes, I had snuck that into the creative, like I did with. I got CD to read the Choose Energy spot years ago.
Yeah,
I did the same thing with this, with the sport coffee stuff. I had this idea and I snuck it in, and as we were going through our schedule, it was getting tight on the day, and everybody started to realize on the business side, what are you guys doing over there? And they were trying to can it, but Jake had been sitting there for hours waiting on this scene, and I felt horrible about it. I was like, I got to do this.
Put that mic close to you. Yeah.
I got to
how
get
it
this
works.
done. So I like set the whole thing up while they're telling us we need to move outside to do a shoot. And so I was going to give Jake a briefing on what we were actually going to shoot. But right as the reason my acting was so bad, aside from the fact that I'm a bad actor, is that as I was saying I need to switch lenses, I realized, oh shit, I forgot to tell Jake what we're doing here. And dude, it went better than I could have imagined.
Yeah.
And I'd like to pretend that was just like genius directing.
If Patrick
but
Mahomes says to you, go run a route, you're going to be like, yeah.
I had given Patrick his direction, and I just 100% forgot to talk to Jake.
Bro, I wasn't set up for this.
Yeah, it was perfect.
No. Jake's, he'll do whatever Patrick Mahomes. Yes, sir.
Oh my God! I can't have one cool moment,
Mr. Patrick.
My one moment.
And like what the shoes you had to change shoes and they were like way too big for you or something too. What a genius! I mean,
yeah, thank you,
I wish I
Cameron.
set all this
Respect.
up. That was just the universe.
And so off the strength of that, he's booked by High Surf's Andrew Duhon.
Yeah, so Andrew, you directed Andrew's video, which we will watch at the same time that my daughters will watch it. So the daughters are on audio only. But when they were here for winter break, we got them together. They are known as the Roast Twins, but they may like this. They've reviewed other people's works right here.
Have they liked anything?
Not yet.
Yeah, great.
I've never seen them like anything.
Yeah,
And if it's associated with me in some way,
They don't even like him.
they
Very-
hate,
very
they hate
low
our
chance.
show.
They hate us.
They hate everything about us.
That's what I expected.
I'm actually going to hire them as consultants on my next shoot coming up. So I hope that this works out.
all right. But let's roll that, Clayton. Let's just sit back and enjoy the Roast Twins. Talking about.
So are they pre-recorded? Are they?
All right, stop it
Yeah.
and start it over so we can get the audio.
on sports?
Yeah, I was trying to do this closer to the election because there's a little bit of a political bend to this thing, and schedules are crazy.
All right.
We're a tight ship, boys.
Anyway, we're here.
Okay, girls,
welcome back. Very exciting to have you here. The people are talking. The people are interested to hear what you have to say.
Streets are saying.
Anyway, we're here to do a music review, and this time we have a video.
Oh boy.
One of our listeners put together, and he has a band.
Is it long or no?
Super long.
I'm biz.
Well, I guess we'll find out. As you can see here,
It's filmed vertically.
the guy's name is Andrew Duhon, and we're going to sit and watch his music
Was my
video
old principal's name?
and tell me if you want
No,
to
Okay.
pause or anything, okay?
Okay, King.
You ready?
Sure.
King.
Okay, okay.
It's too late. Oh boy.
Y'all took American History 101. There seemed to be some pages missing from the shit we had done. Civil rights fight the good fight, feel like a rerun. Bad news went to war.
This video's already amazing.
We can interject whenever. Yeah, I don't really. I don't really get it. Why is everyone wearing? Ugh.
So we pledge allegiance to the flag and the flag.
I just.
Take a little sip of that Waco Kool-Aid.
It's coming.
Why is everybody wearing what?
I just hate the color coord, the blue, and now it's gonna be people are wearing red.
Well, they've sniffed out your theme and they are not a goddess.
They're on to us.
Well, yeah, I don't like. Why are we watering the house? Wait, Eden, maybe this is a little Democrat-Repub thing.
Repub.
Well, they keep talking about drinking the Waco Kool-Aid. If I know anything about Waco and anything about Kool-Aid, I'd say there's a bit of a double entendre going on with them. Just a little something. Yeah, with the American flag, yeah.
You taught him well, Dad.
I mean, it is country, though. Americana.
Straight.
I think this
Okay,
is like
so we're a
blue
minute and
collar
a-
Critical
versus white
culturalism.
collar.
Minute and a
That's
half
what I
in.
was getting.
Oh, that's what the blue is
Yes.
for blue call.
Well, you know.
Blue
just the
call?
splits.
Nobody's
Blue
doing
call.
So minute and a half in, you're saying what? This is blue collar versus white collar?
I'm saying something of the sort. I really don't even know. I really couldn't even tell you. I don't get it. Like, what is in Waco that like people talk
I'm
about?
putting my tinfoil hat on, Ava. Waco? You watch Wendigoon.
Bae, no, what happened in Waco?
Girl, what's it called exactly?
Look it up.
Are you talking about the?
I'm getting Democrat Republican
The Waco
nonsense.
The Waco siege, the Waco massacre.
When was that?
This was 1993. Siege by the U.S. federal government and Texas state law enforcement officials of a compound belonging to a religious cult. And
that's what Waco's known for.
They're talking about Waco Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Right,
My
of Waco.
hat is on.
Yeah.
And I think it's right. I think that he's trying to subliminal message to your viewers. I don't know what the message is because I wasn't really paying attention.
Right, yeah, I can't really hear what he's saying. He sounds 80 when he's singing, so yeah, I just don't really know.
Okay, let's continue the song.
Well, do you like it or no?
Yeah, do you like it?
I'm not
What about
here.
you?
I love it.
Oh, really?
You just want his money,
Is that
bruh.
so?
Yeah, pay us now.
Actually, yes, his money.
Welcome to the contest to measure your American pride.
Oh, they're over.
American, okay. Yeah, this is absolutely.
This is political.
definitely Trump ass.
Oh, no.
Oh, he did. Oh, I hate this.
Oh, so he's blue, though. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that
I didn't
guy-
know that your listeners were blue.
Right, I thought they're. Okay, here's red fella. Okay.
I didn't know what type of crowd you attracted. I didn't know if it was like. I always figured you sort of had like a South Park fan base in that, like.
What does that mean?
They don't
I think they're
realize
roasting you
they're
guys.
being fun of, you know?
Can you pause and
Yeah.
rewind or no?
Just
Like 5
actually,
seconds just to hear what they said there about the, yeah.
Okay.
About the South Park.
I didn't know what type of crowd you attracted. I didn't know if it was like. I always figured you sort of had like a South Park fan base in that, like, they don't realize they're being made fun of, you know?
Yeah.
I think I do realize we're being made fun of. Yeah.
Yeah. Separate category.
Oh, now he's purple.
Bisexual lighting.
No lit. No lit. It's giving gay Republican.
Gay
Why
Republican.
can't they just be together?
No, literally. It's like they want
Why
to so
can't they
bad.
just love each other? No.
Oh, his wife left
The
him.
car. Ugh, because he's so wrapped up in politics. Oh, is this a centrist take?
Maybe this guy's like a little
Oh my
senator and he wants
gosh.
people's votes. Do you know what I mean? That like a lot of people do cringy stuff like
I
this.
want
all
people's
the time.
No,
record
why do you
sales.
think
Yeah.
Kamala lost?
Oh, fat boy.
Centrism never pays, my friend.
You've taught him well. That made me happy.
I hope there is a shootout in this video.
What is this, high surf? I don't have that kind of budget.
So is it about, like,
I don't get
not
it. Yep.
giving in to...
There's the president.
Why would the president look like a reaction picture?
He looks like Napoleon with God. What if he's just showing us an actual Kool-Aid ad? This is not someone's music video.
Yeah, do you think he cashed in on that? Do you think Kool-Aid approved this one?
I think so. I think they're
You
probably
think
sponsored.
I recently watched Year Without a Santa Claus, and I loved their take on politics because if you needed anything, you just called the mayor. Do you think
No,
they dialed up
literally.
the mayor of Waco and was like, "Hey man,
I think they have to
can
sell.
I use this word?"
No, literally.
I thought
lost
it
the
was
plot a
really
little bit here
Story-
towards the end.
no story
Okay.
to that.
I feel like my conspiracy theory take was true and real. And then I was kind of laughing at the beginning because the director put his name front and center. And I was like, that's kind of bold. I haven't even seen the video yet. I don't even know if it's going to be good. And then I watched it. And I was like, yeah, that feels a bit rash.
Yeah, I feel like we just didn't even talk about it the whole time because there's literally nothing
I
we
feel
can
like
say. I think we went on a
The
couple
video was
tangents.
definitely much more interesting than the song. The song is... It's kind of, like Mom would say, it's a bit of a dirge.
It is a bit of a dirge. It's
They
giving me
vamp.
Take Me to Church.
For quite a bit.
That's why my name was at the
So
beginning.
you liked the video.
No, I don't like the
No,
video.
let's not get carried away.
Let's
I don't
not
want
get
you to
crazy.
I don't need to
Let's not
misunderstand
enjoy the
me.
video. It was very.
I also, can we like move the screenshot from this shot right here?
Yeah, he's. Yeah, no, give us a back. Give us a back.
What'd you think of the part where he's dancing with the?
Didn't even see that part. If I'm
sock
being so
guy.
honest.
I don't like it because it does really feel like I'm in Waco.
Well,
Like this neighborhood, I believe it.
What is this saying to you, though?
Looks
What is the
edgy.
message overall in the end? At the end, what are you thinking?
It's don't get wrapped up in politics.
Right.
It ruins your life. You forget about your
You
wife
lose your
and your kids.
neighbors and your family and
You lose
community.
track of what's important because you drank the Waco Kool-Aid and you got shot.
No, literally. And then you just ruined your whole life because you drank the political Kool-Aid. And what you should just do is
So,
drink purple Kool-Aid instead of the
yeah.
red and the blue. And that's what I gather. But I don't even know.
You
but
should
like,
drink lime Kool-Aid.
What are we
Who
doing
else
now?
voted for Stein?
Bay.
Jill Stein
No,
reference?
you cannot mail in.
Not either. You cannot mail
Can't
it
be
in.
mailing in.
Sorry about that one. Yeah, but overall, I just hated it. But it's
Oh, dear God.
factoid. I don't
Spitting, low-key.
So, as a song overall,
Terrible.
Well, yes.
There's just nothing about it. 4 words, as was the last one.
I mean, yeah, they do kind of all blend. Well, at least this one had a more defined genre. But it's not really my genre. I didn't like the way it tried to have a message. I wish,
Not
I
everything
wish
needs
they
a message.
focused more on the song being good rather than the lyrics being poignant because they didn't really nail that one. So I thought that maybe if they went back and
Yeah,
Yeah,
because apparently
I
only
say
people
scrap
from
it.
Waco can like
I think we should
understand
scrap
what's
it.
going on.
only Waconians.
Waconians will know.
Despite the fact they
True
already
red, true
explained
blue
it.
will know. Yeah, overall Garbo.
okay.
He thought that was good.
Well, then we'll make this a wrap, and that's your review. Your review, Eden?
Ooh, out of 10.
Sure.
5 stars. If you want to say 3, 2, 1. Zilch.
Split the
Zilch is
difference.
a funnier word, though.
Zilch is. I'm
0.5?
gonna go ahead and lower to Zilch.
I would give it a 1. I'm
Okay.
raising mine to 1.
I'm
I
gonna
got
give
a
it
0.5 in there.
Perhaps.
We can. Okay, let's meet in the middle.
I do like the
0.5.
enemies to lovers storyline though. That was good.
No, they never loved.
They did. They came together as purple.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
The lights did. I don't know if those 2 guys did.
Yeah,
I think
they
we got to
didn't
run
even,
this
like,
back
hug
for
or
him.
anything.
I think I missed a lot, but yeah.
There was no charged eye contact.
Fact.
Was missing that. Director,
Yeah, missing the acting, missing
You ain't all
everything.
Ooh.
Yeah, director, you didn't do much, King. Thanks for paying my college tuition. Love you.
What a mean thing to say.
That was just a message from Big Kool-Aid.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
glad they got that.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a really interesting review because I feel like they're both very capable through education and experience of being like culturally critical. They understand it and they can explain it and discuss it in an intelligent way, but that pains them so much that they then immediately have to revert back to, but it sucked and it's gay. Like they started talking like real people. You know, like, hey, this is you don't want to just take what they give you. There's an incentive behind that. You're trying to be controlled and pitted against your fellow man, etc. And they'll start saying that, and then they're like, but I bet Cameron sucks.
Yeah.
I bet Andrew's a loser.
They are right.
It was
Yeah.
it was also surprising to me that they had to look up what happened in Waco, which I suppose is just a generational thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was
we're
proud
in
of them
Texas
for
right
being
now.
aware of it
Yeah.
at all, but they are early 20s,
Yeah.
so I guess that could be fading a little bit.
They could have thought it was about Chip and Joanna to begin with. You know,
Yeah.
I think is really why they were expecting this to go.
Yeah.
Phenomenal glow up for Waco to go to backsplash from
Yeah. Big upgrade.
child
I grew up
incineration.
near Waco. It was like the place you did not go
Yeah.
as a kid, you know?
Yeah. I think you got off light.
Yeah, I think so.
I do
Take that.
too. I thought, maybe the real critique is the lower theme that they really didn't dig in there. Like maybe we didn't capture, and we didn't pull them in enough for them to really dig in and crush us, which is disappointing in a way.
Well, I mean, they did say it was Garbo
They
at
did.
a .5.
Yeah, which is just,
so I don't know how
I think
much
that's just
more
what you say
And I
when
used
you
to laugh-
realize
I used
it
to
was
laugh,
game over, and then well, we gotta burn it down now.
Do you remember Pitchfork? They're probably still around.
Yeah.
People used to get really mad at Pitchfork. David Cross, the comedian, was one of these people because when they really wanted to be snarky, they would give something a 0.0.
Mm-hmm.
And his point was like, okay, what if there was just a group of literal Nazis recording songs about Nazis, and you have to review the album? Now you're in a real pickle.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be something above 0.
Yep.
I think you guys got off light. And also, I waited to hear and see that until now, and that's fantastic stuff.
I have to say that it was essentially all Cameron's idea, that video, and I mean that in a good way. And he put the crew together. I mean, you mentioned Ryan Bingham, somebody like that. I would say Ryan Bingham is maybe 10 times bigger than I am, So as an independent musician, songwriter, you can imagine what the budget is to make a video. And
Sure.
it takes somebody with vision and belief in you to make a video like that for you, because you can't afford it.
Yeah, it
at
looks
this,
super legit.
Yeah.
That was very, very cool.
So that's props to Cameron.
Did you have to pay him more or less than FX
That's a
paid
great question.
you for?
I will tell you it's about the same.
Yeah, you just kind of hand that right over to him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our deal was I make things, commercials, and I just wanted to make something I wanted to make, and so whatever you got, let's just do it, And we ended up shooting for basically 48 hours straight. It was like a 48-hour film festival, and then we, slept for 2 days. So it was crazy, but man, it was one of the most fun projects I've ever worked on. So
call me next time.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah. Thanks for doing that, guys. Thanks for submitting yourself.
Thanks to the girls. I'll send them the creative on my next commercial so they can roast it in advance. Tell me how to get it to be good, and then I'll be better at my job.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I'll put my name a little smaller on the front end next time for him.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all, though.
No,
I'm not upset.
whatever. Nobody could be harsher than me.
No.
Are we about ready for our guest?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, our guest is going to be Jon Machota. We're going to do Cowboys today. It is brought to us by Community Mechanical. Community Mechanical. That's our HVAC company. It should be yours.
It is mine.
It is mine.
They kind of came here, set us up, checked everything, preventative maintenance for the winter months, and that's all over now. But guess what? Guess what else is very harsh here in Texas?
The fall.
The summer.
Oh,
you were wrong.
damn.
You had
I was way
one
off.
out of 3. You're close. It's right next to it.
Yep.
But yeah, summer is heading here. But you got the spring to get prepared. And to get prepared, you should call or text 469-667-7290. They'll get right back to you. Community Mechanical at communitydfw.com as well.
Tell Travis we sent you. He's coming out to my house this early next week. Super easy communication. Great deal. So check them out. communitydfw.com.
Didn't you say they got a little gun? They point it somewhere in your house?
They
and
may
they're like,
let you
"Oh, look."
use the temperature gun.
Okay, like that spot's too cold. That spot's
Right.
too warm. That's
Right.
awesome.
Shine it at your wife. No.
Shine it at my wife. No, go down. That's too cold.
That's too cold.
Look how cold that is. It's like the dry ice. It's emitting
The gun just freezes.
smoke. Yes, and your hand starts to freeze and it starts to crawl up your arm and like no, stop! Don't look at it.
It just
Community
confirms what I thought.
Mechanical.
Frigid.
CommunityDFW.com. Yes, can analyze your wife's nether region, whether it's too cold or too hot. That's an insider thing they'll
Yeah.
only do for Dumb Zone listeners.
That's right.
Just your general. They won't just ask about your wife if you're just a regular person and not a degenerate that listens to this show.
No, not a part of our South Park audience.
Yeah.
We'll talk more music with Andrew Cameron later, but let's go now to our good friend Jon Machota of The Athletic. John, do you read me, sir?
See if we do. Jon Machota, do you read us over?
I read you. Do you guys read me?
Yeah, there
Right.
he is. He sounds better than ever.
You do. Look great.
He does.
Slim.
So
I like your guys' outfits there.
outfit.
puppet.
This is a statement, Machota.
I like that.
Yeah.
Our silent protest because it does nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot. But
Are you guys going to go to that game when he comes back?
Oh, I'm there. I'm planning big things, bud. That I will be there, and it'll probably be the last time I'll be in the AAC.
I see the ticket prices on the secondary market like start at 300, and I just can't do that, especially with watch him, like something happens and he doesn't end up playing in that game, and now I'm paying $300 to watch. I don't know. I guess, well, maybe LeBron, but yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, to be very clear, these were given to us. I did not pay
Oh,
for
okay.
these.
Nice.
This was a listener who has season tickets who no longer wants them and never wants to go back to the building. So he sold a bunch of them and he gave a couple to us. So yeah, it's all worked out for us. I wanted to give you a quick chance to promote. Besides obviously the Athletic, what is like the other YouTube?
And the One Star?
The One Star, of course. But what is the other?
Podcast.
I think you're working with our buddy Law Nation.
Yeah, I do a little bit with them twice a week. It's called the Cowboys Collective. And so there's 4 of us, who the other 3 guys are more on the YouTube streaming side, which I need to do more in that space for the Cowboys. Many people have told me that there's good money to be made there that I'm losing out on. So I'm kind of dipping my toe in that water. But then, yeah, I still do the One Star Cowboys podcast with Saad Youssef, at the Athletic, and KT and Kent.
I want to start with this. Were you surprised? You see the Javonte Williams deal and you see Rico Dowdle signs elsewhere. That almost looks like the same deal to me. It looks like with incentives, maybe they can both get to 6. How far apart are those?
They're not very far apart. Those 2 deals to me certainly seem like Rico Dowdle thought he would get more money on the open market, and I don't think the Cowboys were waiting to see what he could get, and so they were like, well, we're going to pay Javonte Williams. I don't know this, but they could also think that Javonte Williams is just a better player overall. So I just find it hard to believe when I saw that deal that Rico got yesterday, where it's basically $3 million. I think it can be worth up to 4 or 5 with the Carolina Panthers. I find it hard to believe that was his goal all along. I think he probably felt he'd get a couple of years and maybe 4 or 5 million per year, 2 years, 10 million, something like that. So that's what I think happened there. I think that he thought his market might be a little bit greater, and they were like, all right, well, we're going to go another direction then, because we're really just trying to fill a spot that we're going to pair with somebody we draft.
I wonder if the Cowboys, they also don't read the market well sometimes. I wonder if they're the ones who kind of just figured, this, he'll make more on the open market. We got to go after somebody who will be cheaper, and didn't really even try to go after Rico.
I mean, that is completely possible. I mean, there's no way that you can just watching how the Cowboys do business. That wouldn't be a total surprise to me either. Because I mean, to be fair to the Cowboys, I mean, I look at some of the other deals that got done, and of the guys that left Dallas, like Jordan Lewis and DeMarcus Lawrence, and I'm just like, they were never coming close to those deals. And frankly, I really don't think they should have anyway. So, they're pretty cheap in free agency. They're really trying to get 1-year deals. They're not really trying to spend very much money. That's been pretty much clear for the last 3-4 years and beyond. So, that wouldn't surprise me either.
My thing on the running back deal was just, so I curious, out of curiosity, looked this morning, and they had the lowest allocation for running back on their cap last year, like by a lot. Also the lowest in tight end, which sometimes can be a good thing because it means you have guys popping who are young, but for them it was not. I don't understand why teams don't just sign both of these type of players and then you don't have to use a top 4 pick on a running back. I feel like you have a way better chance at getting a running back in the free agency market who can be decent for you than you do a wide receiver. And conversely, I feel like if you want a good receiver, it has to come from the draft. I think they're doing this backwards, is what I'm saying. I would have preferred to just have Williams and Dowdle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a bad way to look at it. My only thing I would add to that is that not every draft class is created equal, and just from the week I spent in Indianapolis at the Combine, I know that they think very highly of this running back draft class in terms of like what you could potentially find in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th round. And I think that factored into their decisions too. Whereas maybe, and they enter free agency and they're like, man, there's nothing in this running back class. We better sign a couple guys because we're not finding anything in this draft. There's like 3 guys that we like. What are the chances we get one? But I don't get the sense that they feel that way. They feel like they can get someone that they can turn into, not necessarily Zeke, but maybe it's Tony Pollard. Maybe it's, another DeMarco Murray who was a 3rd-round pick. And I think that's a good strategy. I just thought that should have been the strategy the last 2 years. They should already have that guy on the roster.
Well, they got the guy that's related to one of their scouts.
Leave Deuce alone.
Well, great story. Good little Instagram thing, right? Yeah, it just seems like this is yet another off-season. It just feels like it so far. The draft hasn't happened yet, but another off-season where it feels like the subtractions from the team are going to outweigh the additions to the team.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, it's the pieces they've added are fine. They're just not really many guys on there. I mean, retaining Osa Digizua was the most important one, but yeah, you lose Lawrence and you really don't have you lose Lawrence, and that's okay, I guess, if you know what you have for sure in Sam Williams and Marshawn Nealon, but those are some big question marks, and if they show up and they play well, that's great. But this is a defensive line that just 2 years ago, was starting a DeMarcus Lawrence still playing at a high level, and Micah Parsons, and the backups were Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong. And now you're looking at Peyton Turner is probably your 4th defensive end. I thought that the deal that Chauncey Golston got, I thought that was worthy of bringing him back on. And I just go back to, they have so many holes to fill in the draft. You can get a good defensive end at somewhere in the first few rounds, but you also right now need a number 2 receiver. You need a starting type running back. You need another starting corner. You probably could use another starting caliber offensive lineman, probably another defensive tackle. And so, the edge rusher spot there, pretty thin without Marcus Lawrence.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot on Micah this year. A lot. Probably the most there's been at any point. But I still think up front, I just had this realization kind of this morning. As I'm a Cowboy fan, I'm allowed to say that. So I want Dak to perform well, but we're on the back half of his prime. And the reality is, if you want the Cowboys to be successful for the next 3 or 4 years, they have to have a plus offensive line, I think. I just don't think it's going to work as his athleticism continues to decline, just natural. I don't think they can even have an average offensive line. So it's almost like they just have to go back to the Garrett days of just, if Dak's going to play here till he's 35, we have to keep throwing top 2-round picks at the offensive line. I'd have no problem with that this year. Even though, Guyton struggled, I think you just keep taking shots.
Yeah, and the thing that really backs up your point on that is I'm a big believer in everything really that goes on and has been going on the last few years in Philadelphia, and that's certainly what they did. They have a more mobile quarterback, but they gave him the big money, and they still were like, no, we need to put probably the league's best offensive line and maybe the league's best running back in there. And while Jalen Hurts got MVP, anybody that watches that game and has watched this Eagles team knows that it's not like he just put that on his back and won it. They had a great supporting cast, but to your point, the Jason Garrett era, he gets made fun of a lot, but his idea and the way that they went about things, I didn't think was a bad plan, to be honest with you, especially on offense. It was, hey, we're going to put a good offensive line in Ezekiel Elliott behind Tony Romo, and this is going to prolong Romo's career. Now, it didn't happen because of the back issues, but it ended up being the perfect situation for a young Dak Prescott to step into, where everything wasn't on his plate, and that would be great to get back to. But the part of it, though, that I've always thought, no one's ever told me this, but I just me observing, I felt like when Dak started getting paid the big contracts, that Jerry was like, first of all, he had a fight on those deals with Dak's agent, Todd France, and I'm sure there were days where Jerry was very upset and very frustrated. And so I always felt like it was Jerry being like, all right, Dak, I'm going to give you this money, but now you're going to have to go carry more of the load. You're going to have to do more. You're going to have to start carrying this team. And while I get that, and that might be fine in some business sense of you being your manager at your local company, I don't know if that works for NFL quarterback. Guys are who they are, and there's probably only maybe 3-4 quarterbacks in the league that you can be like, well, we can take a little bit more off their plate, like, and they can carry more, like a Mahomes, which even though that caught up with him in the Super Bowl. But I've always felt like Jerry's got a little bit of sour grapes about how much money he's had to give Dak, to where he's almost like, I'm not going to do that much in free agency last year. This is on McCarthy and Dak. They need to take this team to another level. And he'll never admit that, but I'm just going by the actions and what I've seen.
Man, I feel like context clues, that's spot on. I mean, for one, he actually did once say that about Romo. He said something to the effect of, like, Romo, he's good enough in the pot. We don't even have to have a great offensive line with this guy. And then, your quarterback's sitting there like, I mean, is that what we're doing? Because I can move around, you're just laying me out to dry here? And then, as many times, that's what Jerry means when he says all in.
As everybody would ask him last year.
He's like, I pay Dak. I mean, it's all about Dak now.
Yeah, and then once he did CD, he'd be like,
yeah,
CD too, all in. Like, no.
But there's something to
that's
that.
why I look at 2023 as this core's might have been their height. Because that was the time. And everything was great, and then they had that, the dud against Green Bay in the playoffs. But you're right there. And so Philly also thought 2023, they're in the playoffs, but we're right there. So what should we do now? And Philly thought, well, let's add to this, and you see what happened. And then the Cowboys did the exact opposite. They just, again, another year of subtracting more than they added. That's the feeling you got as last year went on.
Yeah, it's not common in sports for this to happen, but I feel like when I was in the locker room, or when I was watching the Packers that loss in the playoffs, I thought it was bad. And in the locker room after the game, I kind of even thought it was worse. Later on that offseason, I thought it was even worse than that. And it's even worse now than it was then, and it might even look worse 5 years from now when the thing that really added onto it for me this year is, as I mentioned earlier, about the Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong. Those are key pieces on a Washington team that just went to the NFC Championship game. Those are your backups. You didn't even really need them to be studs up front. And then the offense was pretty healthy across the board going into that game as well. And so there is just a part of me that Jerry was so frustrated that not only did they lose that game, but the way they lost it, that he was like, well, I'm not going to add anything more than this. Mike, Dak, they can Micah Parsons, whoever, what's out there right now, you guys take this thing to the next level, and then we'll reassess. And that's why I thought, I really did think, and I know it sounds foolish to say it now, but I'm just, to be completely honest, I really did not think that they were going to get a contract done with Dak before the season. I really thought Jerry was going to let him play that thing out and be like, hey, put this thing on your back, take us to the next level. I'll give you whatever you want in the offseason. And I also think that at some point during that offseason, he did think about that and was thinking about it a lot. And I think whether he was talked out of it or the pressure got to him, but let's be honest, how many deals happen in the last minute the way that one did, right before the team? I mean, that was hours before they took the field in Cleveland. He was in a Cleveland hotel room. For that to happen the way it did, it really made me think that, like, Jerry just made a rash decision late instead of being like, let this thing play out. Now, he still might have given him a contract right now after the season went the way it did. But I did think that his all in was, we're going to be all in on this team and then we'll reassess. But then when you give CD and Dak those contracts, like, you're really not all in because they're not going anywhere. Like, you can't do a rebuild. You just paid those two guys. You're going to pay you're going to pay Micah. There's no rebuilding when you have those contracts on the book. So it's going to kind of be more the same unless you want to do something with your roster building. And as we sit here today, it doesn't really look like that's going to be any different.
Did you guys see Micah on Twitter yesterday?
Did he just say, like, now's my time or something?
It's my time. Little lion head. Not the queen. That they tried to nickname him the Queen when he first started
because of chess.
Yeah, but that just didn't fit with football.
Didn't quite work.
He's the Queen. Look at him go.
No, I think it's fun. The Jerry thing is funny. You're basically describing Jerry as like a parent who caught Dak with cigarettes, and now he's like, all right, you're on your own. Smoke them all. Good luck. Hope you make it to the other side. And it's
you wanted all this money.
You wanted it.
I mean, we said publicly the pie's only so big.
You're big time here. So as far as other free agents out there, it feels like we should just not expect anything of note that moves the needle. But no Cooper Kupp, no other brother Diggs, nothing in the offing there.
So for me, I don't hear anything on Cooper Kupp, but there is a part of me that thinks back to 2 off seasons ago when no one was hearing anything about Gilmore or Cooks. Those completely came out of nowhere. And I do think that those are still a possibility, some type of move like that, because that's what the Cowboys want. They want 1-year deals with like some veteran player types that, hey, if it doesn't work out this year, you're not counting against our cap beyond this season. And so it's tough to say who those players are right now on another team. It might be something that a team doesn't even want to do until they get closer to the draft and figure out what they might be doing in the draft before they trade a veteran wide receiver or a veteran corner or something along those lines, maybe a veteran pass rusher. That's where I could see them making a notable move. I don't see them getting Kupp. I don't see them getting Stephon Diggs. I'm trying to think who else is out there. Asante Samuel Jr. I know a lot of people would like that just because of their need at corner. I don't necessarily see that happening either. I mean, they've pretty much showed their hand that they're probably going to do pretty cheap 1-year deals, that it's going to be on guys that are just, complete bargains. And there's a good chance out of all the bargains they've signed, they really don't get much out of those guys at all. But they're filling out their roster, and that's just kind of how they do business. They don't take big risks.
So when they make a trade, like they seem to really be attracted, like if somebody calls and says, hey, they were a first-round pick at one point, the Cowboys will trade for him. But let's say it's that who was the guy from the Bills they traded for?
Elam?
Kaiir Elam?
Yeah. Because it's funny because you see, go to Bills Reddit or something, and all the fans are just happy that they got rid of this guy who sucked.
Same thing with Kenneth Murray.
Yeah. So, but when they make a trade like this, that's a player that Jerry's never heard of. So who's making that trade? Is it like who is acting as GM when they do trades? Because certainly when they do, all the draft process is
Will McClay and his staff.
Is Will McClay acting as GM on these trades too? Is he making a phone call? Jerry's not making that call, is he?
I think on some he might, but I think it starts with, I think Steven is the more involved, but they turn to Will, for his advice, and the scouting staff, especially because when you mentioned the first round picks, those are obviously guys that they thought a decent amount about when they were in the draft. So they could have some value on those guys because they're thinking, hey, this guy in our system, we might be able to get a little bit more from. With that being said, use Elam for example, whenever they do like a guy like that, just because I'm good friends with Dane Brugler and he works at The Athletic, I always go to his draft guide and read, okay, what does he have? So 2 years ago when Elam was coming out, or 3 years ago it was, out of Dane's top 5 corners, Elam was on there, but so was Andrew Booth, who we've seen, when he's got on the field, it's not. And you go back a few drafts before that, Noah Igbenogany was a guy that was like that. But then he comes to the Cowboys, and let's not even make this just about the Cowboys. Let's look at the guys the Cowboys have lost, just because I like how, Dan, you brought up the other fans, the way they feel. Look at the first and second round picks that the Cowboys have moved on from, that other teams probably thought hey, man, we're getting Taco Charlton. He was a first round pick. We're getting Tristan Hill. He was a second round pick. We're getting Kelvin Joseph. He was a second round pick.
People were excited about Connor Williams for about a month.
Yeah.
If you recall.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, if you get picked in the first round, it's going to follow you the rest of your career.
Yeah, and I can see both sides of that. On one hand, you're like, well, it depends on what grade we had on the guy. They were very high on Mingo, apparently, right? And so I could see both ways. On one hand, you're like, well, we have the information. We trust it. We graded him. Now that the cost has come down, we think he's a little bit worth it. Some of that, though, is ego of well, we trust our evaluation from 3 years ago or 2 years ago more than, 500 snaps in the NFL where the player's not been that effective.
Yeah, and our ability to develop players, maybe.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's tough to knock.
I think they also look at it. They're not giving up much.
Exactly. The cost is very low.
Let's kick our tires on this. We know that out of all these first round pick guys that we trade for, we might hit on one, but we need to let's at least do this because we're not doing anything else. So maybe we get the benefit of the doubt that one of these guys ends up being better in our system. But we're not a big player for notable players. So maybe this is the way that we, another one that they're big on is counting on getting guys to contribute that they sign after the draft, undrafted rookie free agents, where Like that's fine if you get, hey man, it's great if you fall upon a Tony Romo or a Miles Austin or even a Cole Beasley. I mean, there are players, but I mean to count on that just seems pretty bold. And I feel like that's what we're heading into again this year with just all the holes they have to fill. I mean, they have a lot of draft picks, but I think that they lean a little bit too much into that. But it's hard to really blame the entire front office when this is mostly because this is the way Jerry and Steven want to do business. Because you go back to 2020, as bad as or as little as they've done in free agency. You go back to 2020 when there was a new head coaching staff, there was a new, Mike McCarthy comes in. I just looked this up. Like if you look at NFL.com's top 100 free agents, they signed like 7 of them that year. Don Terry Poe, Gerald McCoy, Everson Griffin. The number 1 free agent that offseason was Amari Cooper. They gave him a $100 million deal. They didn't work out. Clinton Dix, Andy Dalton, Greg Zuerlein. Like a lot of them didn't work out, so people just dismiss it. Gerald McCoy got hurt in training camp, never ended up playing for him. But because things like that happen, I always believe that they overcompensate after it. Like, oh, that happened. Well, we're not doing anything close to that again. And you can say that about running back with, we paid Zeke, we drafted running, we're not doing that again. And then they go far to the other extreme where it's just like, so now you're not going to invest really anything in running back. Like there has to be it's almost like when things go wrong for them, like they operate almost in anger in their response to it.
Yeah. You talk about going far to I was thinking about this the other day. They do seem to be reactionary to whatever they have recently done. Whether the running back thing, I remember back when they wouldn't draft Randy Moss, maybe because of the stuff that Michael Irvin had gotten into, but then Randy Moss turned out to be great, so they're like, well, you know what? We can't let Des Bryant get away, so they draft Des Bryant. But that's why it makes it all the more odd that the one area they are very, very, very consistent in is not spending in free agency. Like, they have held true to that. It's not like every 3 years they'll take a shot, get burned, and then try to, like... And it's very odd because they are what's perceived to be the richest franchise in the world. So why don't they throw any of that money around?
I think it also goes, it's a little bit with 2020, but I think it also goes back to right around 2013, 2014, there was a big change in where Will McClay, he'd been in the front office for a while, but he officially took over the draft. And they drafted really well in 14 with Zach Martin and DeMarcus Lawrence, 2 guys they've obviously lost this offseason. And that 14 season surprised everyone. And I've really felt like since 14, this is just the way that they're going to operate because they're like, man, look what we did in 14. And then we kept that strategy going and look what we did in 16. And we still had some decent amounts. And then look at with Mike McCarthy, we had 3 consecutive 12-win seasons. So I went back and looked. And so if you go back to that point, so 2014 till now, they have the 10th best record amongst NFL teams. And they're better than in the last 10 years than some teams that you probably wouldn't think they are, like the 49ers, for example. My thing on that is you are the Dallas Cowboys. Why not take some big swings where there's some off seasons where you're like, hey, this might cause us some problems down the road, but at least we can always look in the mirror and go, we went for it. We put everything into this. It's been 29 years. Let's take a chance here. And it amazes me that doesn't happen, that it's like, no, this is how we do business. And this is the way we will continue to do business. And because Jerry's been there the entire time this has gone on, it just leads me to believe that there's probably a lot of that into what's made him successful away from football, whether it be oil drilling or real estate investments and things like that, the way he operates other businesses. And it's made him so much money. So I feel like he just feels like he can do that with the NFL. And some of it is really good, but I just keep going back to, man, 29 years in this league of parity. Maybe change something up here. Maybe take some chances. When I talk about how I like what the Eagles have done, let's not act like the Eagles have done all good things. They've had plenty of swings and misses, but they just continue to stay aggressive, and that just hasn't been the Cowboys, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be the Cowboys anytime soon.
Well, John, we appreciate your time today. You can check him out at The Athletic, of course, One Star Cowboys podcast, and he is a budding YouTube star with Cowboys Collective.
I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right. I was giving you a chance to do some YouTube comedy or something.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No, you did. I like the way you ended it right there. That's good. Maybe I'll see you guys at that Lakers-Mavs game.
Okay, talk to you soon. Right. There he goes, Jon Machota. When you click on his articles, it says NY Times.
It's big time. That's where I go every day to play Wordle. You know what? Let's go out of order here a little bit before we do a break.
You do whatever you want.
Let's get a little mailbag going.
Okay.
A little viewer mail, perhaps.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail.
I don't think Prophets and Outlaws have been subjected to the Roast Twins, have they?
No.
No.
They can't take it.
The duck in the smoke?
Yeah. This could be brought to us by Early Bird CBD, because we'll do some gummy thoughts in here, right?
Early Bird. EarlyBirdCBD.com.
Had some Early Bird last night, as a matter of fact. That takes the edge off a tough day.
It does.
It was a tough day for you, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
You thought you had a night to yourself.
Oh, I never told you guys.
Sheesh.
So yeah, you needed some early.
Yeah, I got a text right after we were done with the show yesterday that said, "Good news, book club has been canceled." So yeah, the wife ended up
Good
coming
news
home.
for who?
That's right. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I
for
love
Early
that.
Bird CBD.
Yeah, earlybirdcbd.com. The promo code is DumbZone. It's got real THC in it. Don't take it if you have to have a drug test, and etc. It's good stuff. I just love that your wife thinks there's a world where she's gonna tell you,
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be home instead of gone, and she thinks that that's good news to you. Like, what'd you guys do? Did you have a big date planned after that?
We watched an episode of Portlandia and
then went to bed.
Yeah, she went to bed. And
Good
then
news.
But she did end up having good news. She said it was just postponed until Friday.
Oh, son. You get a weekend night?
So yeah, I might just hit the men's club.
You're gonna haul ass home.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. Probably.
The men's club.
I got an email here. This is not really a gummy thought, but it's from Thomas, who says, "Did you ever have a friend who had a really bad breakup with a girlfriend? Right after it happens, you commiserate with him, listen to him complain, maybe help him drown his sorrows if he's a drinker. You understand what he's going through and try to go through it with him, but it keeps going on. Say for 6 weeks or so, he's still carrying on about it. He just can't move past what might have been with this woman. It's affecting his mood, his work, and it makes hanging out with him a real chore. So you start to hang out with him less and less. Ever have that situation with a buddy? I relate to this for no particular reason. Certainly has nothing to do with Luka Doncic." From Thomas, DF number 3.
Oh wow,
right
That's
behind
big
Clayton.
time. So is he asking for less Luka talk?
I think he's saying
Okay.
that I'm spending too much, or us spending too much time on Luka. I don't think
What?
we're-
This is
Yeah, what's he
he
talking
talking
about?
We'll try.
That's ridiculous.
We'll try. I did have an email from a guy who this is my only Luka thing for the day other than the jersey, did bring up the question about, remember when Carlisle recommended Kid on the way out the door?
Yeah.
We were like, that's weird.
Yeah. So what do you mean?
Little Trojan horse, like Carlisle's kiss of death. I was like, it'll be great with this guy. He's super normal.
He'll get along with Luka great.
He hasn't had to go to anger management classes or beat his wife, or he's just totally a normal guy. He should be the coach of your basketball team.
Well, I remember I was not for it.
No. We were wrong for a little while. I got a gummy thought for you, brought to you by Early Bird CBD. You know how when crimes happen now and there's a trial, they will usually it's like when somebody kills their family, they'll put in like the Google search history into evidence. And you'll read about like the terms that this dummy, how to, get my body's wife to decompose in 10 minutes. So I was thinking about this the other day. We're not that far away from people's interaction with ChatGPT ending up in court. I'm sure it's happened already, but I haven't seen it in like a super high-profile case because, I ask it questions. But, I told you I have a buddy who almost uses it as a therapist. Like, he talks to it every day, shares feelings, like, what are some ways I can improve on this?
Oh, so it'll be talking about some of the like it's a priest hearing your confession?
Well, so that's my thing, is that like when you go to a therapist, there is supposed to be like an understood thing. There's an agreement. But if you mention like harming a child, the elderly, or yourself, seriously, they can, and I believe are compelled to report that. Your priest is different, I don't know, but like I don't know, if you start talking to one of these bots and they're like, that person does sound terrible.
And they contact the police bot?
Well, I mean, that, or at some level with the LLM, like the language model, would it not be somewhat like responsible for a crime? Like if it's a person, they'd be like, you.
Well, it's the same as just a Google search then, right? Kind of. Like if you search how to make a pipe bomb or something, does it send that somewhere in Washington, D.C.?
I've always been told that it does, but I mean, I saw people the
Let's
other
ask
day.
the tinfoil hat guy.
I saw people the other day that had asked ChatGPT or Claude or one of them about how to do an assassination, and it gave them very detailed, very good instructions. So my thought is, eventually we're going to be doing a Netflix documentary or a Nightline or Dateline or 2020, and they're going to be like, and then they asked, you know.
But you're saying there's two parts of this. One, can it be entered into evidence?
It
and
will be
two,
entered into evidence, too. There won't be liability, but I do think people are going to start asking questions the first time a lawyer's like, well, you know, my client was sane, but he went down this rabbit hole talking to this fake person.
Yeah, could
which
they
is
be
a
an
little
accomplice?
Or do you sue or something? I don't know. That's one, and my other one after being on a flight this week.
A gummy thought.
Does it surprise you that there are not cameras in planes pretty much everywhere? Or at least a couple? Or are there and I don't know about it? It seems like all the footage you see from inside planes are just people's cell phones.
It seems like they've already crowdsourced it.
Right, but why, as soon as cameras became cheap, is there not like a camera at the front, a camera in the middle, maybe a camera at the back, facing inward?
Yeah, at least one. Just at least one.
Yeah.
Covering the whole thing.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, but it's an expense that they probably don't want to install.
Like the shot clock operator at high school games. So we don't have it.
Well, now that they're charging for bags.
Oh, yeah. Did you see? I think
Southwest can be the first one to have cameras.
I think Southwest, I don't know if this is a good PR move or not. They posted on their Instagram today simply this.
Okay, I don't need that.
It's not like we traded Luca.
With the eyes emoji.
Yeah.
Don't need that.
But a great point. I'm back on board with you, Southwest. Let's go.
Okay.
I have one to end. Well, for me, this will be my last email. From a person who identifies as gay, homosexual.
Okay.
Apparently. Hello, Dan. Writing to follow up on the Gold Star gay discussion from Gay Not Gay last week.
Okay.
Do you know what that is, Andrew?
I have no idea.
Well, this man's about to tell you.
Okay.
A Gold Star gay has never seen or touched a vagina. A Platinum gay is a Gold Star gay that was C-sectioned out and hasn't even seen or touched a vagina, including birth.
So there are tears.
I've never thought of that.
I love that.
Never even
Wow.
close.
Yeah.
Platinum.
As it relates to spa talk, King Spa is the minor leagues compared to Club Dallas, a, quote, health club for men.
Dude, you know, Club Dallas is actually, I believe, where wasn't there some crazy disease that was spreading?
Yeah.
And it was like an electronic festival and some other.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll find it, Dan.
It's open 24/7. It becomes pretty much anything goes situation in the sauna and steam rooms.
Monkeypox.
They were spread.
In the summer of 2022 was spreading at Dallas bathhouses.
That's right.
Including this one.
Anything goes in the sauna and steam rooms, or basically anywhere in the building, including private rooms you can rent. The playrooms with swings.
Okay.
And the pool area. They have swings.
Yeah. Like Chloe and Lamar.
We got about 3
So,
hours to burn.
how
before
far
your flight,
past
Andrew,
missionary
so-
do you get
Here's
to,
my-
man,
hold
I
on.
just need to have a swing. Like this, all right, this has been fine. This is cool. We've done all this stuff. All right,
You
we did the
know-
boots thing where we hung upside down from the door.
Right, a lot of trick
What if we get a
ups.
swing?
From a purely logistical standpoint, this may just be that when you have two heavy people, like two men, involved in lovemaking, there are positions or interactions where a little help is needed.
Well, but like you said, Chloe
Like you
and
could
Lamar
pick a
had
woman
swing.
up. Yeah.
Although she was
You
kind of
couldn't
big
really
at
pick
the time.
Chloe up,
Yeah.
though.
So we did this story on July 8th, 2022. And apparently the first guy had sexual encounters at Club Dallas and then spread it at an event called Daddyland.
Daddyland was it was Daddyland was the name of the event, and the tagline was "Bigger, Badder, Daddier."
That's right.
Which is fantastic. It's good stuff.
Bigger, badder.
I find the obsession you boys have for gay culture to be very entertaining. P.S. Oh, we'll have to explain this one to Andrew. The first 90% is going to be way more doable for you. The last 10% is for only those truly dedicated to their craft. The last 10% is love of the game type commitment. That's from Caleb.
So we have a local comedian friend. He's a Dallas firefighter, and one of his would you rathers is the first 90% or the last 10% of giving a blowjob.
Right. Okay.
What do you say?
It's hotly debated.
Yeah.
And this is straight from the source here. Although he is but one man, this guy's saying you want no part of that 10% unless you're a real gamer, unless you're a ball lover.
Yeah,
as it were.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and really think about that. Pray about it for a while.
Pray about it.
Yeah.
Talk to your family.
I'm gonna pray about it.
Consult with your pastor.
Write a song about it.
Maybe.
I got a quick one here. This from Anonymous. Blake recently wrapped up another great run with the Argyle Lady Eagles basketball team, coached by Coach Westmoreland.
Mm-hmm.
That is his last name. And Blake will often mention, because I think there were at least questions to be asked after the game against Lubbock, Monterey.
That's your opinion.
We can at least ask the question.
Sure.
And Blake's like, "Oh, okay. Well, this guy actually he won 2 championships, state championships."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Boy, that's quite the resume." Well, as we uncovered earlier this week, they had won 3 in a row when he took over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So we get 3 in a row when he took over.
Now, did these high school girls sign 10-year deals to play, or do they have to graduate after a certain year?
So in Coach Westmoreland's, what's his first name?
Chance.
Let's see here. Where was he before there?
The
Brock.
CW.
Brock?
Yeah.
Did he win at Brock?
He did.
Who won before him at Brock?
The same coach that won at Argyle.
Who's that?
Skip Townsend.
Huh. So they hired
This guy just follows
They hired
that
this
guy?
guy from Brock, and they're like, "You've won a couple titles. Can you do that here?" And he's like, "Yeah, because I built this program."
Mm-hmm.
Is that what he said, or did he say, I didn't build this program either. I kind of took over this one."
Did you want him to lose when he got the job?
No.
I'm confused.
No, I'm just pointing out that it does feel like, things were kind of already set.
And
for
are
the guy.
do these players not graduate, or because it seems like he would have had 2 different classes?
This listener concludes, during the slow sports time of year, the biggest of sports debate is, can or will Coach Westmoreland ever catch Skip Townsend as the GOAT of Lady Eagles basketball coaches?
We'll
like
see.
I said, we're just asking the questions.
We've got to stay tuned.
We're asking the questions.
I've got one from Eric who wants to submit the first Black Roseanne.
Okay.
I thought we
did one.
Might have had Steve Smith Sr.
Okay.
Who do you got?
Eric would like to submit Jason Whitlock.
Ooh. Potential.
Yeah, I think he's a Roseanne.
Potential, yeah. You got to be jowly.
Mm-hmm.
I've identified a subspecies of human being just simply known as a Roseanne.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to look like Roseanne Barr.
Okay.
But you just have the affect. Who's the one that I first noticed this with? Who's the guy that was beefing over Bud Light? Was it Travis Tritt?
Travis Tritt.
Travis Tritt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So certainly a man can be a Roseanne.
You just see this and you think that guy's...
And that's a glamour shot.
That's it, of course.
You
that's
gotta
what
have
I'm
a
saying.
soft spirit and hard hair.
Yeah. It's a Roseanne. There you go.
All right, let's take a little break.
Okay.
The Dumb Zone.
Back half of the Dumb Zone today brought to you by our friends at Scenario. It is Syenerio. Scenario. They are a company that can work with your data. You got a small business, any kind of business. They'll help you with data integration, data analytics, all the messy stuff you don't want to mess around with. They can handle it for you. These are the dudes we had.
No puppets.
That are doing a March Madness bracket. So that way I spelt it there. Scenario. scenario.com/bracket, where you can fill out a bracket and get a chance to win 4 tickets to any Cowboys game, including preseason.
That's right. I'm glad they.
If you're a total sicko and you want to select a preseason game, you can. At
Dude, that last game, they're playing
scenario.com/bracket.
for their jobs. They're
That's right.
playing harder than you'll see them play during the season. They're not paid, $20 million a year like all these other guys.
They do it for free.
Yeah.
So you can win a game ticket to that. Data at scenario.com. DATA at scenario.com. You'll schedule your data session.
Or if you want to head to dumbzone.com, we have a Scenario March Madness tab that you can click, and it'll take you right there.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's easier, CTA.
So I have one brief thing to update you on.
Oh, okay.
Found out. So there's a house next to our house that is people rent it. It's always been 6 months, a year. It's a family usually. They're working here and they leave. I've never met the owner. So the other day, a guy comes over and he says, "Hey, I'm working on the house next door. We have some new renters coming in. I manage the property. My son owns this house." And this guy's not very old. He's probably in his 50s. I wasn't there. My wife was talking to him. So they get to talking. And she's like, "Your son, he doesn't ever live here or what?" And he's like, "Nah, he purchased several houses in this area. Like, we're from here." She's like, "What do you do?" Or he's like, "I see you have kids. How old are your kids?" And she was like, "Oh, 6 and 2. And he's like, "Oh, that's probably a little bit young. My son's a streamer."
Wow.
Okay.
His name is Preston, and his net worth is like $15 million.
What's he stream?
Minecraft?
Don't say it like that. It's a very popular game.
Minecraft. $25 million is his estimated net worth. So, my neighbor is...
How old is he?
29, I want to say. Started when he was 14, 13, his dad said.
And he's running laps around us.
He owns several properties in the Grapevine, Colleyville, South Lake area that he all bought.
You could scrape together enough to buy one.
His dad said he bought them when he was 18 or 19. And he just owns, I don't know how many, but I know enough to where, and he's very religious. Like he taps into the Dude Perfect crowd that Cameron knows very well. Yeah, he's worth 20 to 25 mil, and he owns my the house next to me. And so they're getting the house ready for new renters. I walked out today, had the jersey on, the Luka Laker jersey, and there's an older gentleman over there doing some sort of work, and he was like, "Young man, I like that jersey." And I was like, "Yeah, I had to make the switch. I didn't do it. They did." And he just goes, "Them billionaires, boy."
That's right.
I was like, "Yep."
That's all you got to say.
That's the beat on the streets. So anyway, shout out to Preston.
I have a quick hit, but I don't want to be taking your news either. This could be in the news.
Do whatever you want.
But did you see that Texas hat is on eBay now?
Yeah,
at least I saw stories about it.
They were going for like $1,000.
Yeah. The Tetas hats. Because some people actually did order them right away.
Yeah.
But this has kind of made it to national news as well. Just all of the hats are kind of a mess.
Yeah. You guys mentioned the Angels one, but I hadn't seen it yet. It definitely looks like it says anal.
The Angels looks like anal.
Right
the A's looks like ass.
Yeah.
There's another one that's weird. I can't remember, but it's kind of the annual. Like last year, it was see-through pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an annual,
baseball
new Major
uniform.
League Baseball release that actually, it's good pub. I think it's good for them.
Sure.
Why not just keep that hat? Was anybody actually complaining about it, or were they just like laughing?
That's a good question. Like, who's pissed about that? People with breast cancer?
Did someone get fired over it?
Probably.
Well, the first few tweets I saw was that it was because it was like a Spanish curse word.
Yeah, titties. Tetas.
I know this is Jake's territory, but I have a buddy who owns a T-shirt company who is absolutely bootlegging these, and I'll send you guys a couple. As soon as they pulled them off the market, he was like, "I see a place that I can jump in here." He's Mexican, so he was like, "I love this more than anything." Now he's a Rangers fan.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you guys are mixing in your sport coffee with the Lone Stars.
They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
But get down to get up,
That's an important.
Don't I ever.
That's the.
Sorry, Jay.
Think I maybe showed up at the Throne Sport Coffee commercial shoot that day and was like, I need 4 of those.
Actually, I'm writing a script right now for the next round we're doing where Jake returns, but now he's super fit like he is now, and it's all because of Sport Coffee. He's turned his life around. So.
Yeah.
A before after.
That's right. A little montage scene.
That's awesome, man.
Okay, so this is kind of a little bit of news junior. This is not a political thing. Don't yell at me. But
look at me.
So apparently people are like attacking people with Teslas, as you guys learned in your Cybertruck. Journey.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do the Trump audio here?
Yeah.
Okay. Brought to us by One Day Doors and Closets. Don't forget, you can replace your interior doors in 1 day.
1 day.
That's what it's all. That's why the name is that. You don't like buy the door, they install it for a day, and then they come back and get it tomorrow. That would be like, what kind of a business would that be?
No, you get to keep these bad boys.
They'll install the door in 1 day, and then you keep the door without any messy construction in your house. Look around your house. Look at the doors. You're going to be like, yeah.
Door sucks.
You know what? Their bid is, if you upgrade doors, that's kind of like just redoing the whole house. You'd be like, hey, what you doing here? It's hard to, it's like a haircut for your house. How you
they
like
should
that?
use that, yeah.
I just came up with that. They save customers 30 to 50% compared to big box stores or handymen. Their tagline is, it's like hanging a new piece of art in every room, which is probably a nicer way to say it's like giving your house a haircut.
Look, yeah, but I like the haircut. So onedaytexas.com/promo30. Get you a buy one, get one, a BOGO.
Oh, wow.
Get your BOGO on doors. Our friend Julie did this. She loves it. Check them out. onedaytexas.com/promo30. Make your home partner, your roommate, surprise them with this. It's nice. So, Tesla. I guess there's stocks in the tank, but feels like all the stock is in the tank. It's not really my game. Don't think it's really Andrew's either.
Not my game.
But yes, I took that Cybertruck ride.
Yeah.
Good listener of ours has a Cybertruck, and he said people will drive up, speed up to see him and maybe give him a thumbs up, or people will speed up and then get next to him and give him the finger.
Yeah,
like it's now a politically charged thing.
Yes,
which is kind of sucks because I think Teslas are awesome, and when I got in that Cybertruck, it's incredible, and I might like something like that, but I also don't want to
be part of the
thing. Making a political statement. Like I don't need a red sign in my yard or a blue one. I just want to
don't drink the Waco Kool-Aid.
I just want to be.
Yeah. Well,
Andrew's taught us all.
That's not how it is.
That's what I'm here for.
And how it is it's definitely a political statement. We're getting like vibes of was it the Weather Underground? Who was not
Digital Underground?
Greenpeace. Who was like blowing up Hummers at dealerships?
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Some leftist environmental organization. That's like apparently happening now, which is ironic because they're electric cars. But people are very mad at Tesla. So, brilliant idea. Trump decides that he's going to do like a little Tesla showroom thing with Elon right in front of the White House. There's really no reason for this other than, as you'll hear him say it, Trump's like, hey, I think it's kind of BS what's happening to this guy. He's helping us out. And you guys are tanking his stock and talking shit about his cars. Look at these wonderful cars. And they just parked 3 of them in front of the White House like it's a used car dealership.
Well, I thought
insane.
I thought he had stated he was going to buy one.
Well, yeah, because
And so was that kind of like, I'm going to bring the showroom to you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Does Trump drive?
He addresses that. I don't know if I played it, cut it off or not, but he does not. And he has not in some time.
I was about to say, I don't know if he's ever driven.
He said it's been a long time. And I would question how much he ever did. Like, he grew up in Manhattan. He's been a rich kid his whole life. I doubt there's too much driving in his history.
There has to be does he have a record of taking his driver's test? There's no way.
I don't believe he currently has a driver's license based on the way he was talking.
Yeah, why would he need it?
But he made it sound like it's not because of him. It's because of these pussy Secret Service agents.
Yeah.
So let's just fire it up with the first one here. It's a wild, surreal scene. It looks like a car dealership. It's a beautiful day. They're just out front. Go ahead.
What?
Blake.
So was this on CNN or what? What was this?
I do believe they've broken live. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we do have volume here.
Yeah. This.
You'll be Okay, stop it. So this is worth our time. That's the kid, right?
He's talking in gibberlink.
He talks like a robot. Now, the kid's like 3, 4, 5, I don't know. So I don't want to make fun of him too much.
Elon's kid.
But he definitely talks like a robot, which is exactly what I would imagine that he would. Do you guys know how to say his name?
Is that the kid with letters for names?
Yeah.
For his name? No.
Most people have letters for names.
Yeah.
Well, it's like...
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Let me see if this is it.
I mean, it's just
fair.
X, the letter X. And then the AE is like pronounced Ash.
Rogan just laughing at him.
Awesome. Yeah. And then A12. A12 is my contribution.
Oh, why A12?
Archangel 12, the precursor to the SR-71. Coolest plane ever.
Okay, so its name is X Ash A12.
Can you imagine
the future king of Earth?
Yeah, no, the obviously his whatever person he had this baby with had no veto power.
Grimes?
I'm just saying.
He made it seem as though Grimes came up with the first part.
Yeah, X
you know how
Ash.
many regular names I got vetoed? Like, oh no, I can't have that. My wife telling me we can't do that. And this guy names his kid that. But yeah, maybe Grimes is kind of crazy too.
She's definitely kind of crazy, but also kind of nuts that a guy who then would be joked for decades about being a Hitler enthusiast did get away with the name Ava. So, score 1 for you.
Yeah.
All right, let's let it play here.
Anybody know who he is?
Hello.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, President Trump. Are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to buy because, number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets, and number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life
Listen for how
to
he
doing
says
this, and I think
Tesla.
he's been treated very unfairly by a very small group of people. And I just want people to know that you can't be penalized for being a patriot, and he's a great patriot. And he's also done an incredible job with Teslur. And, I mean, nobody else has a car company started up in the last 30 years that's been successful. I don't think so. And not only successful, but super successful.
First of all, great point. I've mentioned it several times. We hadn't had any new cars in forever.
Yeah.
Now we got Rivian, we got Tesla. You're going to want to just memory bank the way he said Tesla for the end of this thing, because he has a hard time with it. He says Teslur. It's like my dad. My dad always said Ryan Tannehill, the NFL quarterback, and I'd be like, Dad, that's not right. And for 15 years, he would just say it incorrectly. It's just like an old guy thing where you're like, fuck it, no, that's the way I say it.
But how do you label Elon Musk as a great American patriot?
Because he's doing all this for free. Like, this is part of...
But do you have to be from here?
No, of course not.
You could be a patriot and just... So I can go be a France patriot?
Yeah, if you want to... Whether you agree with what Elon Musk is doing or not, if you're dedicating your time and life and resources to...
If I dedicate myself to bettering France, I'm now a French patriot.
That, by definition, I would say yes.
Okay. It just feels weird.
Thank God he made cars and didn't work for a national park, you know?
He'd be donezo. So let's go to the second one here, because they're trying to talk Tesla, but it's Trump, and it's Elon Musk. They're gonna scatter shoot. People are yelling shit at him about Canada, like, what's going on with tariffs? And he's like, I don't know. These cars are awesome.
No, he's a bad dude. He's a bad guy. But we didn't have these problems. I had no inflation. I had a great economy. He gave you high prices. You couldn't buy bacon. You couldn't buy anything. And also, I inherited a situation with eggs. The price of eggs was through the roof. Well, now the price of eggs has come down a lot. Interest rates have come down.
Yeah. I just giggled at. I inherited a situation with eggs. God.
What about eggs?
Bless it. I inherited it. Now, here's the one that's making all the headlines. This third clip here, it's time for us to actually get in the car. They've got, the car. They've got a Cybertruck. He mentions that he bought a Cybertruck for his granddaughter, Kai, who we recently talked about, the golfer.
Oh.
She's like a top-ranked female
Trump's,
golfer.
Yeah.
But
she's
now
A highly ranked.
she's A highly ranked.
Not,
That's right. Sure.
Wasn't she like ranked 200?
Might have been
but
more.
still
Might have been
invited
lower.
to this tournament.
The third one here, though, is when they both get in the car, and this is just comedy.
That's for beautiful. The 50%, is that going to go into effect on Canada or no?
Which one?
The 50% tariffs?
I'll let you know about it. Yeah, I'll let you know.
I'll get back to
But I appreciated his call. I thought it was nice. This is beautiful. Whoa!
Whoa!
Should I get in?
Get in.
Should I get in?
Okay. Let me get in this second.
Are they mic'd up?
Do you want my notes?
Yeah.
They gave me notes. I said, I'm not Biden. I don't need notes.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
I'll take those.
Let me get into this sector. I'll watch Secret Service go crazy. Thank you.
How many of you actually drove it around? They
Oh,
really
that's
well.
beautiful.
Elon wants him to drive it so bad. Right. Please.
Wow.
I get into this other side.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
He's right. You get in there, it's amazing.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm like, I don't remember when my dad briefly had a Tesla. I'm like, I don't remember what I said the first time I saw it, but it was not that dissimilar from, wow, it's all computer.
Yeah. That's what it's all about with Trump, man.
Cool stuff. Like
No,
he's just like, what's
he
cool?
talks like people.
Yeah.
He really does.
That's not.
No
like
matter what he does, he says stuff like you say stuff.
Ooh.
He just talks like a person.
Yeah,
like he's nuts.
That part's not.
He talks like your crazy uncle, whatever, you know.
That's better.
Yeah, how you talk. Yeah,
drunk uncle at. On
the
Saturday
last
Night Live.
one here, we will get back to him trying to pronounce Tesla, and he tells you about his view of credit cards and checks. But
oh wow,
the reason this one's great is because it's at the end. They're out there for about 35 minutes, and at one point towards the end, Trump has been talking about Canada for like 5 minutes, and he again realizes like this is not what I'm out here for. So this clip starts with him wrapping up like blah 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 blah, but that's not why I'm here. And this is our last one.
They're people, and we want to stop. And we also don't want to give billions and hundreds of billions of dollars away. We're in there for $350 billion. And there was no reason this war would have never happened if I was president. So it's a very sad thing. Thank you all very much. I love Teslur.
Oh, boy.
Which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one. And I want that same color.
All right. Are you going to put down a credit card? Elon, would you take a
No, I'm going to give him a check. I do it the old I give checks.
Sure.
I like checks, you know.
I think his credit's good.
You know, I like a check better than this modern system of all of a sudden there's money in your account, nobody knows. I like signing a check.
Okay. I kind of do want a president who's old school enough to balance a checkbook, but just would rather not be him. But yeah, I love Teslur. Enough about Ukraine. I love Teslur
and the eggs.
Just a wild scene all the way around, man. Really, no point for it, you know. Just no reason other than just stroke themselves. Yeah.
Is Teslur.com live?
Teslur, yeah. You just go buy yourself a. I mean, they're literally using the front of the White House like a used car dealership. Like it's the most perfect metaphor you could imagine. X-Ash Arc 12
versus Barron in about 15 years.
Barron will body that little boy. That's a blue-blooded American right there, son.
Here's Jake.
That was News Junior.
That was News Junior. Let's flip back over here.
This is News Senior, which is brought to you by Lucy.
Oh, Lucy.
That is your...
I don't think I have any on me. Do I?
This is not tobacco, correct? That's the whole point.
It is not tobacco. It is, in fact, just nicotine. The good
100% pure nicotine.
Yes.
So you could, like, stick your knife in it and then kind of, like, taste it.
Do a little nummy.
Rub it on your... yeah, and you're like, yeah, that's pure.
That's exactly right. I'm trying to pull my copy up here, Dan, as I switched over to my news
Well, I would
page.
just tell you they're not like any the regular nicotine pouches as well that's owned by Big Tobacco. They're like the mom and pop shop of pouches. They're the little guys. You can set yourself up with a subscription, as a matter of fact, and have Lucy delivered straight to your door.
I do that.
And they have different flavors.
Apple Ice gang. Big Apple
So
Ice gang.
what's the thing in
Espresso.
there that a little thing it breaks?
Yeah, the breaker.
Little flavor juice.
Oh, it's called a breaker.
Yeah, when you get a
What's
little,
the thing that breaks?
Yeah.
It's called a breaker.
Yeah. And you get a little dry, over time. If you got it in there for a little bit, you just pop that breaker and it moistens it right back up, and a nice little flavor in there as well.
Could get mango.
Do you have a promo code?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's lucy.co
Use code
/dumbzone
dumbzone to get 20% off.
Yes,
It's good
lucy.co.
Yeah.
/
They're not doing the
dumbzone.
M's anymore.
They're not doing the
folks.
M's,
Just
folks. They're
go.
trying to
It's
save you
not gone.
time. They're saving you time, Lucy is. So lucy.co / dumbzone, all one word, and then use the promo code dumbzone, all one word. You get 20% off your first order.
So yesterday we were wondering, hey, how come sports mayor Eric Johnson, mayor of Dallas, hasn't weighed in on this Dallas Mavericks matter? Well, it's because sports mayor was in Washington, D.C. testifying about housing. Now, I'm updating you with that information so that you know he was busy. Or we've got to him. Because Eric Johnson hasn't tweeted about sports in a long time. In fact, he hasn't tweeted much at all, boys. We might have broken him. Is there?
He did go to the game with Dumont, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Rick
So-
Wells. No, they're saying Dumont.
Yes. So in a way, he was showing some kind of, solidarity with the Mavs in that way. Because I thought maybe he's not tweeting because he's against the move.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he did go to the game.
I think there's a decent chance that we've had influence on it. Influencers.
Sweet.
If you will. Have you guys followed this situation at Gateway Church?
No. Is that the one in Southlake?
It's
The big giant
very close to here.
church? Yeah.
Yeah, on the freeway. So the founder of Gateway Church, Robert Morris, or as his flock called him, Romo.
Did they really?
No, I made that up.
Oh, that's a
'Cause I
good
thought
one,
it'd be
man.
Cool.
That's like I want to call the coach of the Lady Eagles. You should call him the CW.
Oh.
Thanks, man.
Where was that in January when I was talking to him?
Chance Westmoreland. Because
You
I
didn't
also
visit
used,
about the
I used to
CW?
think his name was Wes Moreland.
Oh.
So the guy who founded that church, Robert Morris, over about the last 6 months or so, reports have been coming out. There's a woman who, when he was in his early 20s, working in a church in Oklahoma, this woman was 12 at the time that the abuse started. And it went on for a few years. And he was like a junior pastor. He would stay at their home. He was a traveling preacher. Took place over the course of 3 or 4 years. And that woman then came forward.
Like later when she was like 30, right? Or 40.
Yeah, last year. No, much older. Yeah, she's in her 50s. He's in his 70s, I want to say. This is a tricky one. So this is in Oklahoma. It's from 1982. There's no statute of limitations because Mo was not an Oklahoma resident at the time of the allegation. You ever hear that one before?
No. Mm-mm. What is that? Why is
I
that
don't
like
know.
now a federal crime?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. But something to look out for if you're committing crimes.
So if
away
you're
from your
diddling
place.
little kids,
do it at home, folks.
Do it in a place that you are a resident with a resident of that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what we've had since then, and this is going to be a call for a safe space here, because obviously I condemn in the strongest terms the molestation of children by any individual,
Doesn't
much
sound
less
like
a
it.
trusted
Do you have a
authority
however
figure.
here?
Yeah, but
So,
So
a number of people within Gateway, elders and the like, have had to step down. And I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, but I believe all of those, stepping down or having to apologize, it's all because they knew. It's not because they did anything in the last couple decades. It's new. They knew about what he did in 1982, and he might have done it other times.
Kind of a Joe Paterno thing?
Here's the safe space part. I'm uncomfortable with this, but many people in the church, heck, people do this with their sponsor in AA. They will share, their shame. And they will share with you, their worst moments. And these are things that I've done that I'm trying to live down. And, you know, when you get like a sponsor in AA for real, you're supposed to tell them like everything, even things you thought about kind of doing, because we're trying to clean your conscience here. So if this guy did this 40 years ago, and part of his like small group and spiritual journey is that he has to share these things with people, like that's kind of the basis of the religion, is that we can trust each other and talk through these issues. Should they have to resign? I don't know. It's thorny, at least to me. They should.
Kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's going.
It's
And I'm not like, oh, they're being
tell your
railroaded. It's more
psychiatrist
just-
that you killed someone, right?
Yeah.
They have to turn you in. But
Correct, like we talked about, but, you know, I don't know. Church feels like a different level. I mean, I know for a fact in those, like, small groups where you've got 8 or 10 adults, they get very personal about their thoughts and about their acts.
I think God takes care of it now.
Yeah, I mean,
that's their thing, is they think that.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's really predicated on forgiveness. I mean, if somebody told me something in a small group and I went and said, "Hey, you know, this guy has a porn addiction," that's I don't know. That's the whole point.
And the porn
is to
addiction
share and,
is
different levels.
Yeah, because it's, I don't want to say a harmless crime, victimless crime, but it's certainly closer to that than something involving an actual other human being.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but then she's not in danger now. You know, for sure, if you know that somebody is still involved in a continuum of, like, abuse, you got to say something. You stop it now. But if this guy's like, hey, this happened 30 years ago, it's the way that a church is set up, I feel like, is problematic on this front.
Yeah.
Because it's built on some level of trust and secrecy.
Well, yeah, and that's how
with
the
each other.
diddling in the Catholic Church was able to be hidden for all that time.
Correct.
Because they forgive and move on, and why don't you just go move to another town then? And then they'd do it again. That seemed like a bad bit.
Nobody really offered an opinion here but me. It was
Funny
kinda
how that
everybody-
worked, didn't it?
I'm like, hey, can we get a safe space? And everyone's like, yeah, why don't you just run on out there on your own?
Yeah, no, well, no one agrees with you, I think. Everybody thinks
I don't even really have an opinion that I just think it's an odd setup. If you have an like in a business, you'd be like, you're fired because we need transparency.
Organized religion is a really tricky thing, but we already got Polly charged this episode, so I figured
That's
I'd
true.
keep my mouth shut.
That's true. I don't want anybody yelling at me. 50 Rottweilers and other dogs rescued in a Watauga animal cruelty case. You guys feel like the Rottweiler has declined in popularity in your lifetime?
Yes.
Like, it seems like Pitbull has taken the top spot.
Oh,
for
yeah.
what we're supposed to, but when I was a kid,
used to be the Rottweiler,
I was
yeah.
like, dude,
Like
this is-
quicksand, I thought the
Quicksand.
Rottweiler would be a large problem in my adult life.
They were everywhere.
We need them to attack more kids and get in the news.
Better PR team.
Yeah, the Pitbull started doing that.
Maybe they should get a song and a video. You just write something. Get
Yep.
Rottweilers back in the mix. Yeah, 47 Rottweilers. You know, I feel like we do one of these stories every month. You're probably just driving by a house every day where there's 50 poorly treated animals somewhere, you know, in the inside in the backyard. You just have no idea. They're everywhere. It was actually a building in Watauga associated with a Rottweiler rescue. So it feels like they're not
They were associated with the rescue, yet
fully fulfilling their obligation.
yeah. No, you don't want to have too many animals. That's like having too many kids.
You
just
want to have
can't-
kids, Andrew?
can't
No,
deal
sir.
with them.
Never? Just kind of made the call early?
It's looking like no. You know,
It's just going
you
that
just-
way.
Yeah, you just have to hope that the nurse at the hospital is going to hold my hand when I die, and that'll be good enough.
Cameron might be there.
Yeah, Cameron might be there. His
I
kids
need
are
a
cool.
job as a nurse, actually, so this works out for me.
He's got a couple of sons that I'm kind of tight with. You know, we're cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Levi would choose to be at Andrew's death before mine, for
Yeah.
sure. So
He'll be able to play guitar by then.
Is that the main thing, even in jest? Is that the main thing you think about, though, is just like death when it comes to not having children?
Good question. No, I mean, well, you know, I remember early on when I thought kids were more likely for me, and I said something to the effect of, I said this to someone at a gathering party, something social, something. Yeah, I think she was a was a psychologist or something, and we were talking about having kids, and I said, I love the idea of having a son and teaching him how to throw a curveball. And she said, "Oh, well, you're already setting yourself up for disappointment. What if he's not a son? What if it's a daughter? What if your son doesn't dig baseball? All these pieces to the expectations that you set on something like that. So clearly, I'm an older person now, and I wouldn't have such expectations if I did decide to have a kid. But what are the expectations now in the idea of perhaps having a kid? I think it's all about relationships, and I think the start for me is, can I just find a partner that feels right for this lifestyle where I'm on the road all the time?
Certainly not easy.
No. And so that's step one, and then you can answer the questions after that.
Jake had a son so that the son would teach him how to throw.
There you go. Yeah. That works.
Because Jake can't really throw a baseball.
Free lessons in anything.
He took lessons to do it.
Yeah.
I did.
No, I actually think that's an inspiring story for me. I think that's very cool, because I have a great relationship with my son, and the fact that you went and took throwing lessons so that you could be better for him later is pretty cool.
Thanks.
So.
Oh, you think that's inspiring?
Well, it's led me to actually do guitar lessons because my kid loves music and I don't know shit. I have to hang out with Andrew.
This guy's inspiring people.
Feels
left
like I'm
and
having
right.
a positive impact over here. Now let's check with Dan and Blake for their opinion on my entire existence.
Quitting drinking, improving their whole
I didn't quit
lives.
that.
Everybody's doing great things because of Jake.
Maybe Westmoreland won't win another one.
Yeah, I mean, where'd the guy go?
But the good news for you, Andrew,
Where'd the other guy go?
is that you're a dude.
Mm-hmm.
And them
No,
ladies
that's right.
all dry up, but dudes don't.
That's
And so you can have a kid. You could be 70, and you
That's-
could have a kid with your hot young wife that's just willing to do whatever you want.
Guys have the breaker pouch. So if it dries up.
That's right. Yeah.
When you run out of flavor,
That's
guys.
right.
But
Bust the breaker.
Dumb Zone for 20% off.
yeah. Older
I'm
you
an
get,
ad
though,
man,
you get a little loosey yourself. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to figure that out.
Would you ever just adopt?
Probably, I think that sounds.
I mean, like by
honestly,
yourself.
Oh no, probably not. I think just the idea of being a mentor to youth is exciting.
It's pretty sweet.
Giving back in some way, but mentorship, well, then you can just give them back. I like that better.
These are guys without kids or young kids that all say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's all bullshit.
What, mentorship?
It's all, you don't want kids. They're going to grow up. They're just going to kill you. They're going to roast you. They're
Well,
gonna
I'm
make
not
fun
to
of
the
all your
bad
friends.
part like you are yet. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, this feels weird while we're just on this path of me doing good deeds. But I used to
here's
go
another one.
volunteer at that school over in Fort Worth and to do reading because it was awesome, and I could leave.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But it was an hour of just fun. It actually it was for me. It was my own personal.
Hey, kids, look how good I can read.
You can't even speak English.
Idiots.
It's funny. I saw a deal the other day about in Fort Worth. They were like, our goal is to have, because I think in Fort Worth, the news story was half of Fort Worth ISD is below grade level reading.
Mm-hmm.
And they announced some big initiative that was like, everyone on grade level by 2035. I'm like, well, I remember the program I started doing in like 2018 was everyone by 2025.
Yeah, why are we're not pushing
so it
it
feels
ahead
like we
that much?
just keep being like, look, I don't know, it's probably not going to happen. And then lastly,
It's
here,
always good to put your goal 12 years. It's like Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the PGA Tour when I'm 40.
I mean, to be honest with you, in my head, when I was at the worst portions of my, addiction or whatever, I was like, just get this shit together by 40. That's a nice round number. Maybe you live to 80, which means you have like half of a life.
Mm-hmm.
That was very important to me for some reason. And I did it, so maybe Johnny Manziel can still play pro golf. One person died this morning in Mesquite from a small plane crash. Jesus, Tom. One person, the pilot, was on board the Cessna, crashed into a wooded area, and they gone. Boy, I feel like that's like the one hobby I'd talk my dad out of.
Trying to become a pilot of a.
Yeah. Because like you're old enough, like
Those are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones that go down.
you're old enough, you're confident enough because you're like an old white who had all your money before the housing market collapsed, and you think you're cut from a different cloth.
So he wanted to do that?
I could see him doing that. I mean, motorcycles are a big. I don't love him on a motorcycle. That freaks me out a little bit.
He looks great though.
But the plane, I don't know. It does kind of feel Darwin-y though. Like if you, I don't know your belief on religion or whatever, but something is telling you like literally you're too close to the sun.
Yeah, little Icarus world.
Yeah,
Yep.
this ain't gonna work.
Yep.
There's a human order to things, and having you up here by yourself ain't part of it.
No, I always wanted to be a helicopter pilot. It's one of my dreams.
You
I
said
know.
you would be one before Manziel made the tour.
And at this point, I would probably try to persuade you not to do that if you told me you were going to. I see the comments. You're the star. I know who we can't lose.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to work too hard to persuade me. I'm just losing all energy to do anything in life.
Yeah, Jesus.
I can't continue.
What was it in the first place? Just being up there?
No, I don't know. I've just always had like a dream literal dream that I'm like flying a helicopter.
Yeah, but you also dreamed of building tunnels underneath houses, and you let that go at some point.
No, that was a daydream as a kid. I'm saying a literal dream that I recall in my head of that somehow I'm flying some kind of helicopter type thing. I don't know why.
That's super single
Gay.
mom energy. Just sitting around your whole childhood like, I wish I could fly away.
No. I'm saying I had a literal I'm a sleep
I-
dream as that, but I would dream of building a tunnel between my house and the next house over that I also owned as a kid. That's a daydream as a little kid.
I think that's a common
Or
one.
maybe more I wanted what do they call the hamster tunnel? That's kind of like yellowish. You could see through it.
Yeah.
Like between two little habitat things. I wanted a big one that a human could walk through between my house and the house next door that I bought.
That sounds dope.
Trey
This is
Young
when I
has
was a
that
kid.
at his house in Oklahoma.
Who does?
Trey Young. I did a shoot at his house.
Keep it close.
I did a shoot at Trey Young's house in Oklahoma, and we shot in his gym, and he kept disappearing. And I was like, where the hell did he go? And he has like a 10-foot high concrete wall around his house, but his gym's outside so people can come work out there. Underneath, he has a tunnel that goes to his house with like a super special locking mechanism.
See,
that's
pro athletes
That's kick-ass.
are pro athletes and Trump
I was going to say the president.
are like 10-year-old me.
Yeah.
Where, I can have this or whatever. Like Joe Burrow bought the Batmobile.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, yes, if you made $50 million a year, you'd be like, all right, that Mutt Cuts van? I'd own it. And I would have redone the engine and all that. And it would actually work.
Sure. Yeah, and they get their money young. So yeah, they still hold on to that.
Yeah, they're not
to
all
walk outside in Oklahoma.
Yeah, if
it's
you got
really
the
nice.
money
They're not
now.
old and practical and like, I
Yes,
should
right.
put this away. For
Dividends.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
I've
they're just
never
spending
wanted to see anything more than that tunnel too, and I kept like kind of hovering by the door, like maybe he'll invite me down, No, never. Just in and out. And I was,
So you don't know him that well to ask him?
No.
Like, hey, dude.
Also, it felt clandestine a little bit too.
There for
Like
a
him
reason.
and his boys kept going in. They'd come back with Raising Canes. And I was like, "Where the fuck? Do you have Raising Canes down there? Or what's going on?" And but yeah.
It would be really funny if the next press conference he holds, just out front, is him just like popping up in the new house he built next door to the White House. He's like, "There's a tunnel. You just walk over here."
It's amazing.
It's very blank check. And there's your news.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
Hey, today in history will be brought to you by. Hold up that beer, will you? Lone Star Beer and Lone Star Light, baby.
La 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 Lone Star beer
Yeah.
for you.
Lone Star Beer, the official beer of the Dumb Zone. I'm going to call it the National Beer of Texas, celebrating 140 years of brewing in Texas. Awesome merch. Oh, am I wearing a Lone Star Beer hat? I guess I am. Dumb Zone 21 on the website. Go to lonestarbeer.com.
Get another
Use the
one.
code DUMBZONE21. You get 21% off merchandise. Must be 21 or over to purchase. We had a guy in studio who had gone to LoneStarBeer.com, bought himself a nice Lone Star Beer sweatshirt, and didn't use the code. So not only did he not get the 21% off, we didn't get any credit for sending him there.
Yeah, none.
So these all work hand in hand. You're going to benefit, and we're going to benefit.
You scratch our back.
Yeah. And our back is located at LoneStarBeer.com. The code is dumbzone21. Authentically Texan, awesome merch. I can't speak. It's a Lone Star Beer.
There you go.
You know it. You can have. Ooh,
there's a real one.
How about that?
I saw Andrew filming like basically like an infomercial ad where the beer's empty, and you're like, "There's got to be a better way."
Tired of your beer running out of beer?
Let's see. One viewer mail birthday today. Dear Trim Tickler, I'd like to wish my actually super hot wife, Ashley Lane, a happy Pat Tillman minus Cam Newton birthday. She used to think I was hilarious because I joked that Ken Molestina equals Tiny Molester. I stole that bit from you years ago. She thought I was hilarious until one day last summer when I was listening to a sode in the backyard, watching the kids play, and you made the joke again, totally exposing my ruse. Let's see. Her leaders are Jake's Bravery, the Roast Twins, and Slutty Emily Jones.
God, it feels unauthorized.
Who, by the way, looks a lot like Queen Maeve, one of the protagonists from the hit Amazon Prime series The Boys. You ever see The Boys, Andrew?
Missed it.
Dude, you'd love it.
Yeah.
Especially
you. Just met the guy.
Yeah.
Elevator pitch synopsis. Go.
Let me do it. Let me do it instead.
Go ahead.
You remember superheroes?
Nope.
Just in general, go with me here.
Oh,
You remember
okay.
the concept of superheroes?
Okay, sure. Yes.
What if they had everyday problems, and
Okay.
sometimes their AT&T guy wasn't gonna be there at an exact time, but like noon to 5 on Wednesday?
Right.
How would they deal with that?
Yes. Okay.
That's it.
That's the show.
Homelander didn't sign up for Ownwell to check his property
just
tax
getting
values.
blasted on cancellation fees. It's just superheroes dealing with that.
Okay, got it. I thought superheroes was a show.
You gonna trust this guy who wouldn't even enjoy a beer with you? I would. I'd sit down and have a beer with you.
And when I'm gonna have a beer, it's gonna be a ice cold Lone Star Light.
That's right. Let's get a sizzle reel.
More Blake, Beehive Forever, Day 2 DF, John Lane, the Trump shirt guy at the Den during the election live stream.
Oh, yeah.
Good bit.
We had one guy here who was a Trump supporter, and he kept a hoodie on the whole night. And then he was leaving, he took it off. Like, all right, see you guys. We're like, damn it.
That's all right, man. Hey, you want to put your red sign up in your yard? I'm all for that. Today is Thursday, March 13th. On this day in 1781, the seventh planet of the solar system was discovered, and it was a hilarious planet. You know which planet I'm talking about here, Andrew?
You would be talking about Uranus.
On this day in 1917, Dodgers manager Wilbert Robinson.
He sounds progressive.
Because he had heard another manager had caught a ball dropped off the Washington Monument. This is back in the day when you had pole sitting and just
midgets.
Yeah, just stuff. People were really, really bored. Like, think about the day even before baseball, way back, that's when everybody knew about astronomy. And, like, the only thing you would do is go outside at night and be like, oh, look, they're like a millimeter that way now. Everything's a little different tonight. Let's write it down.
Man, I don't know if it was legit or not, but I saw I think it was like an 8th or 9th grade exam from that era yesterday online. And, I would have gotten about a 50 on that test at 40.
Yep.
It's considerably easier now because we have baseball.
Anyway, this Dodgers manager said he would catch a ball dropped from an airplane. He was in his mid-50s. Casey Stengel was involved here. He substituted a grapefruit for a baseball. The manager actually it hit him as from the airplane, and it splattered across him. He thought he was dying. He thought it was blood, but it was a grapefruit. And that's what they did in 1917 for fun. On this day,
how's his mic not on?
It is.
What happened?
On this day,
it's on. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we weren't hearing it. On this day in 1925, the Tennessee General Assembly approved a bill prohibiting teaching the theory of evolution. 1925.
Little scopes.
A bill which prohibited that. The law was repealed in.
Don't know.
1967. Took them a little while. And on this day in 2004, the Dallas Cowboys signed quarterback Drew Henson to an 8-year contract.
Hey, hockey.
They acquired him in a trade with the Houston Texans.
God. We should book him.
Remember that era?
I do.
Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson.
But they're tall and they're good looking and white. This will be great.
And he was really good. Was he the one who started ahead of Tom Brady in college?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And played for the Yankees.
Then he went to play baseball, and that didn't work out. But one famous wedding on this day. Oh, this is good for Andrew. Because Pablo Picasso.
Oh, fun.
On this day. Got married. So
Yes.
Picasso, did I say the year yet?
No. You've set it up well so far.
Well, it's not about that, but when do you think Picasso was alive?
Oh, God.
Just give me a ballpark. Give me
Don't make me do this.
1 year that he was alive. Any year.
Oh, man. Wait.
Because he lived to be like 80-something.
Oh, man. Let's see. Give me 19, 18, 20.
You're doing great. I
It's
thought
a lot better. Yeah.
I would have said like 1242.
Yeah, when we first learned of this, we just Michelangelo.
Yeah, Picasso.
Oh, okay.
I thought he
yeah.
painted the 16th
Yeah,
chapel.
exactly.
Yeah, Picasso lived.
And then we come to find out that he saw the Dolphins' undefeated season.
Yeah.
He
saw The Godfather.
Yeah, he's seen in a theater.
Yeah.
And
1972, Dolphins undefeated season.
yeah, he's alive.
I just you have no idea how much I don't know about sports, but I know that year.
Well, Ace Ventura, no?
Why is that?
Oh,
Osmosis?
sorry.
Why do you know that year?
I played a video game, football video game when I was a kid, and I remember that 72 was like one of they would have
Yeah,
like
the classic
marquee
teams or
classic
whatever.
teams,
Yeah.
and it was the 72 Dolphins. I
85
remember
Bears, 72 Dolphins.
Yeah.
Anyway, this story is 1961. Picasso at the time is 79 years old. He marries a model named Jacqueline Roque.
65.
So he's 79. She is, you're guessing, 65?
Yeah, 60. You know what? I'll give him 70.
48.
Andrew?
that. Oh no, wait, we're guessing what the
bride's age.
his
Her
bride's
age. He's 79.
And it's 1961.
She's 28.
Okay, you went way the other way. 37.
That's respectable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means when he was 42 years old,
Right.
he went to the hospital.
Oh man.
And the what do
Which
they call
existed.
What's the
Because they had hospitals.
the maternity ward or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they have all the babies just in there. And he went and picked out one and
Oof.
said, "I'll see you in 37 years."
Yikes.
Look, he waited 37 years.
So you're not even 42 yet.
No.
Your
I'm not.
next wife has not been born yet.
Ugh.
Isn't that great?
No, it's not. It's super gross, Robert Morris.
Like your daughter will babysit your next wife.
You're gonna have to tell her all about the Dolphins' great season, and she won't know anything about it.
Yeah, you should have been there.
Other birthdays today, we have Angela Cataldi,
It was
74.
crazy. For like a few
Hero.
days, we were obsessed with this guy that killed a healthcare CEO. You had to be there, though. Who was it?
Angela Cataldi,
Oh, hell
74.
yeah. Legend.
Will Clark, 61.
Always heard he was an asshole.
Yep.
Former
Did too.
Ranger. LP Ladouceur, 44.
Norm.
Frequent Norm guest.
Long snapper. Caron Butler, 45.
Tough juice. Got a ring.
Chew to straw.
Tristan Thompson, 34.
Man, a lot of babies. They're not still married, are they? Or are they?
I thought they were still involved in some way.
Chloe, right?
They could just be co-parenting. You like that term, Dan?
Is that what you call divorced parents?
No, I think it can be applied to both divorced and...
Or they just never really got married? They're saying,
I think they were married.
It's just kind of basically taking turns raising your kids.
It just means that as a dad, you can't just do nothing and drink and smoke all the time.
Like, don't we all
Danny's a
co-parent?
pretty good example of co-parenting.
Yeah,
You're
Danny's
right,
a 50-50.
I think it just means you don't drink and smoke when it's your shift to take care of the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah.
So gummies are fine. You just said not drinking or smoking.
Correct. Yeah. Lucy, early bird.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Neil Sedaka, 86.
Genesis? No, who was he in?
No, he's a old songwriter. He's a solo guy.
Okay.
Calendar Girl, perhaps? Anybody familiar with that song?
This guy plays music for a living and he doesn't know what
It's
you're
like
talking
the
about.
1950s or something.
I've heard
He
of
was-
Neil
yeah.
Sedaka, but
lot of stuff you've heard of, actually. He was on American Idol a few years back.
they're doing his hits.
Yeah, did the Neil Sedaka catalog. That's when I found out, because I think I heard him interviewed on Fresh Air. And that's when I found out he didn't get paid anything to be on American Idol and have him do his hits.
Big E.
But
that's right.
The Big E, he said
it worked.
They sold tons of records just from doing that. Anyway, William H. Macy is 75.
We just talked about him yesterday. Boogie Nights.
Danny Masterson is 49, says here Kempspin.
Yeah, he had a little bit of Robert Morris in him himself. Although I think his might have been barely of age, but it was a rape. And the Church of Scientology tried very hard to protect him and failed.
Big Scientology guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about those church trying to protect rapists, right?
I think there's probably the whole...
Right, you were just on board with it 5 minutes ago.
Not on board with it. My point is it's a messy, problematic arrangement.
I don't
when you're
know.
supposed to...
I mean, all right. Well, if you are a person of faith as such, what are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of just admitting the truth?
So in this scenario, would he have go to the congregation?
Yeah.
You're the pastor, and let's say it's 2005. You say, hey, right around the time you share with the rest of your elders, you just tell the church then. That's what I did.
I don't think you need to
It's
tell
up to
the
you.
church. You need to tell the authorities. I think somebody like that should be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law, and them being persons of faith, what are they afraid of?
Yeah,
being raped.
Perhaps
I believe is
being
the
raped.
answer.
Yeah, that might
Being
be
raped
right.
by the
They
system.
like doing the raping.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, that's fair.
No,
But-
that's a good point. If you go to the authorities and then you just let them figure it out from there, if there's interesting.
I want to put the system on trial.
Do you?
Yeah, when I get
The
next
whole
time
thing?
we're in a courtroom.
Yeah.
I should have done that when we were in the courtroom.
I often think about missed opportunities.
Judge, I'd like to
for
put the
bits.
system on trial here.
When we were,
It's brought
if
to
it
you
pleases
by
the
Early Bird
court,
CBD.
Yeah.
if it pleases the court, could I put the whole system on trial?
You weren't really in the mindset for bits.
Fuck no, dude. I was having a meltdown. I did work the Vanilla Ice thing in, which I was.
I think next time we do it, though, it's going to be fun.
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna have Cameron shooting the thing.
Yeah, we've already been there.
Yeah,
We
he's
know-
up there with a guitar.
we know what's up.
Yeah, just clowning. New court goofing.
Lee Allen Baker is 53.
I don't know who that is.
I love her. She was the mom in Good Luck Charlie.
That kind of just like
Man.
feels like a personal one. Like literally, no one here's heard of her.
No.
And you're like,
Take a look. She's been in a couple
this
things.
is an attractive woman.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, sure, dude.
Common, 53.
Legend. Still say his first full solo album, the one that's fully produced by Kanye, that's a top 10 album to me.
Big character on Silo as well. Really good show.
I heard that's good.
Fantastic.
And Jack Harlow, 27.
Industry plant. No, I'm just playing. That's post.
Born on this day, now dead, Frank Home Run Baker.
Are you a baseball guy?
I love baseball. I played baseball as a kid.
Okay.
High school, played,
You wanted to teach your kid a curveball. I was
That's
thinking,
right.
That's why I picked
impressive,
up on it.
man.
I was a top walking injury on varsity.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So we like to do this bit. So Frank Home Run Baker is his baseball reference page just says Home Run Baker. You see?
Okay.
So he played from 1908 to 1922. Couple breaks in there for WAR.
Yep.
Home Run Baker.
Not wins above replacement.
No.
Actual WAR.
What would you say his highest home run total in a full season was? Oh, Home Run Baker.
I think he was probably compensating for it. So I'm going to say he hit 17 one year.
His career high in 1913 in 645 plate appearances was 12.
Ooh. I was the over, I guess.
Yeah.
No one will ever beat it.
No, it's
it
black
led the league,
magic.
right?
Oh, it's crazy.
Lee Allen Baker was in an episode of King of Queens.
There you go. Now you're on board, aren't you?
Very.
Airbones, bro.
Don't blow him up.
Yeah. L. Ron Hubbard, born on this day, now dead.
Speaking of
Dianetics.
Andres Escobar, a soccer player who was murdered for scoring an own goal.
That is such a wild story.
Like, you think Mavs fans are passionate. And Al Jaffe, he is a Mad Magazine cartoonist. Does anybody know what Mad Magazine is?
Absolutely.
I was obsessed.
I was a subscriber for a minute.
Oh, okay.
I had a friend who was, so I was like, all right, I'm going to get to his house on the weekend.
So he would do the back page fold-in cartoon.
Ah.
Which I was heavily on board with. Dead on the Stay Still Dead, Henry Shrapnel.
Oh.
Invented the shrapnel shell.
You're not going to believe this. Trivial Pursuit, right?
Uh-huh.
I enjoy the game because their trivia is meant sometimes to be guessable. This is the one I guessed. It was who invented the exploding cannonball. I said Lieutenant Shrapnel. I was given, obviously I don't know if he was a lieutenant or not, but
that still plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very smart of you.
Roll again. Got it.
I haven't played that in a long time. That used to be on the thing, though, on the list. Trivial Pursuit. Do you play more board games now with you got kids?
No, I don't have kids.
No, I'm looking at him, though.
Oh,
we haven't really done that. I think we will, but we haven't really.
It's just time kill. And it's not digital. So you're like, okay, let's do this. For some reason, it feels better.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't. We played we were a board game family for sure.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, big life guy.
Mm-hmm. Life's fun.
Big life guy.
You'd be all funny, like I'm going to marry a guy.
Oh, your parents love you. Look, I put 2 blue ones in the convertible. What do you think they're doing? Parents are like, dude, grow up. No, it was a fun game. Talking about insurance.
Dead on the Stay Still Dead, Susan B. Anthony. John Cazale. He was Fredo in The Godfather. Wasn't his birthday yesterday?
We just did that, yeah. So he almost closed the loop.
He died on the day after. At least he saw his birthday. Probably all like.
Wait, he was born August 12th.
Oh, did I get this wrong?
Sorry.
I thought he had his birthday yesterday.
Slight glitch in the Matrix. We should never check any of this.
Was it
we could
him
expose
yesterday?
That we're wrong about all of it.
I think so.
His dead day is today. He was born in August. But, like I said, we don't need to proofread this.
Oh, I put his dead day as yesterday. All right. We'll delete that for next year.
Look at that guy. Proactive.
We'll be cool.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Yeah. We're going to have this set by next year.
Danny Masterson. That one sucks.
He Ping Ping.
The little guy?
The world's shortest man ever at 2 foot 5 inches. Giant wiener, though. That's what they would say, but it could have been relative.
Right.
Like, how big would it have to be to look John Holmes like?
That's a good question. Why?
Why did I have to be born 6'2"? Why has God stricken me with
I have a
being
better
6'2"
question.
just to make it look that much smaller?
Why on Pig's Wikipedia page is the one photo they have of him in a little shopping cart?
That's awesome.
Is that Pedro's midget? That's not Pedro's.
No. Pedro Martinez?
Yeah, remember he had a
Yeah, he had a little guy.
Little guy he'd bring in the clubhouse.
Yeah, this is his
World
buddy.
Series celebration.
I mean, in
It
general,
feels like most Dominican players probably have a.
Well, I was going to say,
midget.
in general, I think America actually deserves some credit for our general progressivism on dwarfism. Because if you watch an Asian or Latin or Latino, Mexican, I guess, game show, they're nothing but bits to the it's just
Well, and you
get
might
a little
say,
person.
I'll bet you little people, if that's the preferred term, are upset about this because they're losing jobs.
Yeah, that was the big
Like
Peter
they're probably on
Dinklage
TV
thing.
left and right in Mexico. Up here, like no, that'd be making fun of them.
Yeah,
out there starving. We're gonna bring it back right here.
Dwarfs?
The Dumb Zone, yeah. And died on this day in 2006, Robert Baker.
The home run maker.
Robert C. Baker says here he invented. I think he was in the basement.
Oh,
He invented the chicken nugget.
Damn, that's a tough scene. Gonna get a big check? No. Gonna send you back down to the basement and figure out something to make the fries taste better.
And that was
You're all
today
pawns.
in history.
You ever watch The Wire?
I'm afraid I have not seen The Wire.
It's no high surf.
Yeah.
Rescue. I
Let's just
can't
keep going back to it.
I think that's awesome, though. If you're getting paid by anybody for your work, you take it.
You do. Well, generally speaking.
Principle.
This is our time for closing remarks. And it is brought to
Hey,
us.
Claire, did you just get rear-ended by that truck and it wasn't your fault?
I did. Cornelius Falcon, what should I do?
Pick up your phone and start pressing threes, you ungrateful monster.
Frankel and Frankel, Andrew, they are personal injury attorneys. And if you are involved in, let's say you're out there on the road,
As you do.
and some fool just rams their vehicle into you, make sure you're okay first. And then call 214 or 817, and then just keep hitting threes. 333. 333.
That's their phone number. Real easy to remember.
Yep.
It sounds like this when you dial. It's just the same tone over and over, yeah. And they'll take care of you because if you've ever been in a car accident, you know that you're going to have, the insurance company, you're going to have their attorneys calling you. They all have an angle. So call the Frankels. They have attorneys that used to work for the insurance companies, so they know what they're after. They know their dirty tricks. And they'll take care of you. They'll get you what you deserve. Did you have something to add?
I wonder what their jurisdiction is. I guess I'll have to get in a wreck in the Dallas area or Texas area.
I think here's what I know about the Frankels, and the Texas area is typically just called Texas because then when you're beyond that,
Thank you. I recognize that. I was hoping you were going to let it slide, but it's fine.
I would say no matter where you are, just call them and they'll direct you to where you need to go.
That's
I
nice.
promise you, they've
That's
got
nice.
people on every corner. Hey, I know a guy.
Okay.
Wherever you're from.
Yeah,
that's the type of people they are.
I like that.
So who's up for closing remarks? We can go all the way around.
I want to talk to Bear Suit Guy.
Okay,
for
you're
sure.
first up.
But
Hello.
this would be Houston Miller.
Hi there.
Who gave me the bear suit so we can do some fun with bear fight whiskey.
Yes.
You know what else we could do is we could send you to a furry convention.
We'll do that.
How are those people doing?
The bits just keep on giving.
Are there chicks there?
Yeah.
Who are into it?
Yeah.
You won't know.
Yeah, I mean you're dressed up, but a
That'll
lot
be
of times
perfect.
they cosplay like
It's just
a
like the
female.
internet.
Yeah.
I could be chatting with a girl, but it's really a dude, and that's pretty exciting to me.
So thanks for the costume.
No, but I wanted to say, because he keeps saying, I've heard you say this to a couple different people. You even said it to me. You're like, oh, my wife is really happy because you bought this for a bit. Obviously, you didn't buy it just to wear around the house.
Yeah, so actually a friend got it for a bit, and then I had another bit that I could have used it for a Workaholics podcast. It's not a deep cut bit on their show, but one of the guys wears a fur coat. He spends his whole check on it. So I got that, wore it to their live podcast, and it's just been sitting in the closet. And then you mentioned it, and I mean, y'all moose, which is cute, but you know.
So you said your wife though is happy because
we're clearing space out of the bit closet.
Well, but that made me think you're like now giving this to me.
If you want it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought I was like borrowing it to take a couple pictures and then give it back. But like he's happy he got rid of it.
It's kind of yours now.
Because now that I do have it, this is the kind of thing you can't throw it away. Because what if you do need it for a bid or something?
Dude, I got
but I also don't want it.
I have so
I understand your pain
stuff
here.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, am I ever gonna need a WWF belt again? Don't know, but
Right.
I'm not gonna throw it out.
Yeah, you're
Based off of what he just said, I'm pretty sure he's had sex in this. Just so you guys caught that, I just want to make sure you might want to run it through the washer.
It did sound.
What else is in your bit closet?
I got
Oh man, a lot. We do a lot of like themed parties. Like our last New Year's party was SpongeBob themed, and
you and your wife.
Well, like we invite all the friends over. You know,
right?
We like throwing themed things, and you get a closet full of stuff that you're like, well, I spent money on this, so I can't get rid of it.
I identify with this completely.
Yeah, Baby
I
Billy.
still have all of my Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Almost all of them.
Big Billy Strings guy?
Well, yeah, this was kind of an Easter egg to wear. Because, I know the exact moment. I was at that show, and I know the exact moment when all of the hand the ball off guys got up out of their seats and started walking up.
Yeah, it was pretty early on.
Walking up
You
the
aware of this
stairs.
character, Billy Strings?
I know that character, yeah.
He went to go see him, somewhat unaware of his.
Yeah,
his
he went in
approach.
completely blind.
Pretty long songs.
Yeah. I believe they call them jams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well,
Jam
what's
fella.
funny is that like we got a weirdly jammy show compared to all of his shows. Like he usually plays a lot of his songs from his albums, especially because he just released one. But ours, for whatever reason, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do like a 45-minute."
Don't love it.
2-song thing.
Don't love it.
Yeah, I was there
personally.
for
Maybe
that.
I'm
It's
a
not
lot.
for everyone,
ADD,
you know what I mean?
but just
Yeah,
don't.
the 32-minute song about his dream the night before.
Yeah, the DMT trip.
That's probably
That's a
one I
DMT
would have
trip.
left if I could have. Yeah.
Do you do encores, Andrew?
Yeah, I think, it's kind of it continues to be something people dig, and they kind of feel like they didn't get the whole show if they can't clap on one more song. And that's fine. You just make it a false bottom set where you have a plan for the next song. But sometimes, it feels just fine. Sometimes, like, you played a long enough set and people have been standing in a room. Sometimes it's a seated theater. Sometimes they're standing. If they're standing, there's a chance that they say, you know what, that was a perfectly fine set. We're good. We're good here. We're going to leave.
So you have
You just have to
improv'd it?
You got to read the room.
Yeah.
You'll
sure.
improv and say, no, let's not go out. Looks like everybody's leaving.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. But and also generally.
But I saved my best song.
No,
I
wait.
don't-
I think he's saying you would make that call beforehand, right? Like,
well-
let's say 2 songs before, you're like, all right.
I better play that
Now
last
I gotta,
song.
I'm saying both. I'm saying
Yeah.
there is absolutely the chance where you don't. It just feels like there's not enough of that. There's like one drunk guy in the front. One more song, but everybody else is good. So you don't go back out. But really, you can feel it 5 seconds after you play the song you just said was the last song. And in that way, I don't like to get off stage. I just say, okay, I see what's going on here. We know the usual thing. Let's just play one more song.
Get a sip,
Okay, cool.
something, yeah.
So that's I don't do the whole get off stage and get back on thing a lot.
It feels self-important, but
Yes.
then it's like people expected it.
Right.
So
But
they
if
had to do
you give him that false bottom thing where you were playing what is essentially the end of the set song, but you have another idea in the barrel just in case, and of course you get that sense before you really have to get off stage so you don't have to do that whole thing.
What about the Lindsey Sterling encore scene?
Tell
What's
me about
like?
that. Educate me.
I mean, it's an out-of-body experience, really. You think you've had the best hour and a half of your life, and then she comes back out and plays her best hit.
Oh, I see.
Blake's favorite artist is an electric violinist.
Okay.
I don't know about favorite, but she's up there.
There's no
She
shame.
got some bangers.
No shame,
Okay.
Blake.
She got
No
some
shame at
bangers.
all, man.
I hope you weren't sensing shame for me.
So what's next?
I do have a gift for y'all. It's kind of in the ether because the season tickets are all digital now, but my family has season tickets for the Stars, and y'all were talking about needing to get back into a little bit of puck. And we have a couple of games over the next couple weeks that no one in my family can go to. We can talk like schedule
I'm down.
offline.
Yeah.
But it's 3 seats. These are made for my Uncle Minge Menser because they're a dugout 3-seat section at the top of the 300s, but there's cables on each side with a sign that says this is not an aisle. No one's allowed to walk in front of you. You got twice the leg room.
All right.
I mean, these are right up Dan's alley.
Yeah, it's like kind of a suite, but it's
our own little balcony.
The poor man's suite. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, precisely.
Yeah.
We will never get rid of these tickets.
What
ever.
if they were to, like, I don't know, wreck your entire franchise by trading a generational superstar and getting a low
Jim,
return?
yeah,
Not really.
no,
even...
and Jim Nill we trust, and no, that will never
Sorry
happen.
to the emailer.
Yeah, what if they traded Jim Nill for Nico?
I don't know, man.
Do they ever do that? Okay.
Like, what do we?
And I do have one gummy thought, if y'all don't mind.
Hit us.
It was mentioned briefly and casually a while back that Blind Josh and TC did mushrooms at a Trump rally.
They did.
And I think about this at least once a day because, like, if you close your eyes on those psychedelics, you get these, like, geometric shapes, the close-eyed visuals. Does Josh get those? And I cannot, it just won't leave my mind. You know what I mean?
That's a good question.
See, Blind Josh,
for all the times
because
I've done mushrooms with him, I've never really asked.
And
hey,
because
he used to see, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So does his mind pull those visuals from in the past?
Yeah.
Like, does he get flashbacks?
Interesting.
That's a good question, and also it's very funny that he just said he used to see.
Did he really trip if he doesn't see that stuff?
Well, because you get the body
Don't do
feeling.
the freaking listening to a book's not reading thing. The guy's blind, for Christ's sakes.
Well, he's got to get a book with Braille, and then I'll give him some
The
credit.
visuals are half the fun, right?
Can he even read Braille?
I don't know.
Like,
Just
he's
let
the fakest
guy
blind
be
guy I've
blind.
ever met.
He's our good friend.
I know, but I'm just
But
trying
he
to
seems
tell
to
him.
be the kind of guy that wouldn't mind discussing this. If next time he's on, I would love like a 2-minute bit on what his trips are like. 'Cause
Yeah.
that just blows my mind.
You think we can limit him to talking for 2 minutes?
Yeah. No.
Make it a round 3.
Yeah, Blind Josh epitomizes gummy talk.
So, do we want to promote Andrew's website? Is there like a specific central
Hold
location?
on. Cooper might have something to add as well in closing remarks.
Sorry, just real quick. Run the Ball guy.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Thank you.
Like, every day I just get closer and closer to that.
Yeah.
And my brother listens too, and he's like, mentioned that it really aligns with becoming your parents when you buy the house,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
insurance
yeah.
commercial, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like we just bought a house, and that's me now.
Yeah. It happens so fast.
More Julie, of course. And then last thing, 3 years ago, like pretty much this week, I got a call from Argyle ISD.
Okay.
An AD there to line up a job interview for a similar job that I have now. And all I could think was, dude, if I get this job, I coach volleyball.
Uh-huh.
I got to get Blake to call some of these games.
Yeah.
That's all I could think. So the whole week I was on spring break, like, yes. Like, I can't wait. And it never panned out.
Dang it.
You should have
And,
called Blake.
Yeah, you could have put in a word for
Like,
it.
the only thing I think was, damn, like, I'm not going to get Blake to call any of my games now.
A professional failure of the highest order. They give you any lip?
Who?
The girls?
My varsity kids do.
They do?
The other ones are terrified.
Yeah.
But once they know me, they're like, this guy's a scrub.
See, that's why I'm interested in it, because in football, like, I feel like and basketball, I was physically afraid of some of my coaches. Like, this guy's 6 beers in, he's going through a divorce, he thinks I'm gay. Like, he could really cause a problem for me. But
you knew one of your coaches was dating the hottest chick in the class.
I did, yeah. But for females, I feel like they would quickly be like, you can't do shit to me.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Kids nowadays,
yeah,
too, right?
And like,
oh, yeah.
That's
we're
what they
good,
say.
so they're all bigger than me.
Oh.
So it's just like, just bullying me around. It's really great. It's hilarious.
Well, yeah, it's andrewduhon.com. Is that the best way to buy tickets? Is there a way to buy tickets where it's less beneficial for the artist?
Oh no, I think no. Not the tickets are fine.
No, I'm just saying, are there some well, implicitly.
Yeah.
But like, are there some places that you're getting less out of it?
Right.
Type thing.
You know what else I'd give a plug is bandsintown.com.
Oh, yeah, I use that.
It's so useful. I mean, I don't need to check my favorite band's website all the time, but what would be useful is a band. And you plug in, 10 bands, whatever you dig, and they're only going to email you when those bands come to town. Bandsintown.com. Highly recommend.
It's great for when you travel too.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Absolutely
like,
right.
hey, I'm in a city.
See
they'll do
who's playing in
they'll do
Vegas.
comedy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
When's Andy Gibb coming?
Buddy, I got bad news. So you're kicking things off in Baton Rouge?
That sounds right.
And
Yeah,
you'll be here April 12th.
That's right. What is it? Ferris Wheelers in Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
How do you travel across the nation for your tour?
In a standard issue Chevy Express 3500, white exterior with 3 dudes inside that make up the trio.
Damn. Tight?
No. You
just got a trailer for the equipment?
No, sir. We fit it all inside there. We keep 2 benches in the back, so you have one person driving, one person riding and fun. Then you got one guy in the front bench. If not, you have a bench buffer between you and that next bench where you can lay down and you're in your own little world. But everything behind that, the 3500 extended, like there's enough room for a trio's gear and merch back there. So
with a stand-up bass.
That's right.
That's the impressive
Can I ask
part.
you a business question?
Sure.
This is to impress my friend Dan here.
Yeah.
Did you buy the 3500 for tax write-off reasons?
I certainly enjoy the fact that it's a tax write-off.
Did you know that, Dan? My buddy who owns a plumbing business, like he showed up with a...
What's a 3500?
I think they might do it for 2500s too, but like an
that's
F-150, but then an F-250, F-350. He showed up one time. We're like, a little big, bud. And he's like, this counts as weight for a company vehicle now.
Okay.
So if you see me rolling up in a...
So you got 3 guys.
Have
Have you known them a long time?
Yeah, I think we've all been in the band for 6 years now, and that's another lovely piece of this is you will struggle. Anyone will struggle to find the right people for any particular touring outfit. But I think I found the right dudes who are in a place in their lives where this is exactly what they want to do as well. So.
Yeah, we're looking for a new Blake.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's a struggle
everything
out
else
there.
is working.
Yeah. Just
working
get
well.
5 new Blakes and just have them all on rotation and figure out whether you got a favorite in there.
You guys ever do that? And this is why we need a new Blake because he's not really into this like we are. But you ever do like the Beatles bit?
How so?
Where they all just jerk off together?
Oh no, we haven't really jerked off together.
You haven't heard that?
Are
You've
you
ever
a
heard
band?
That?
Are we really
is that a fake band?
It was actually the Beatles and I want to say like the Stones together.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they
You
would
never heard that?
I never heard
legitimately
that.
circle jerk. They would get together, they would turn off the lights, and McCartney retelling the story, it was very funny because he's like, yeah, we'd be yelling out like names of famous actresses, like I guess trying to come.
Conjure up images because
and then somebody would be like Margaret Thatcher, and they're all like, ha 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 ha, not hot. Like that's
Rita Hayworth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Mean, this may be why we're not as big as Ryan Bingham yet. I don't know.
That's what we used to do pre-internet,
Just hang out and beat off. Yeah,
Shout it
just
out.
guys being guys,
Yeah, just fun.
That's our ancestors.
So go check out Spotify, Apple Music, however you do that. And then April 12th in Dallas at Ferris Wheelers. We'll be there. Come say hey.
Andrew won't plug the Instagram or Facebook or anything, but that's also another great spot to keep up.
Sure.
Well, this was fun.
Hey, thanks, Cameron. This was fun.
Yeah, man.
This is fun.
When Blake says that, it means we're done.
Yeah.
Adios, mofo.
Gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my videos.